Endless Multiverse, Endless Multiverse, Endless Multiverse, episode 28. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Endless Multiverse, episode 28, with your co-host, Chainsaw Reacts, and Andy. And today, we have a variety of topics to talk about, including Wonder Man, something to do with the fake Mandarin joining Wonder Man. Legendary departing from Warner Brothers. That relationship seems to be done. DC fandom is not happening this year. Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, first 2 episodes. Stargirl premiere, season 3, and some YouTube stuff that we have to address. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. We are here, and we see you guys already in the chat. Hey, guys, so ready for the discussion? We're glad that you're here, Marcus. Let's go. Triple X says, let's go. Oh, we are ready to go. We are ready to go. Anything we want to briefly mention, or do we just want to dive right in?
Because I don't know how long some of the episode discussion is going to be. Oh, dear Lord. Maybe it's better I mentioned what we're doing next week. Just at the top of the hour. And then if we have more time, we will bring it back. And also, next Friday, there won't be an episode in this multiverse because we're moving our recording to Saturday next week, Saturday, September 10th, at a new time, a special time next weekend, which is at 12:50 p.m. Eastern / 9:50 a.m. Pacific time, or if you're on the West Coast. We're going to be doing a live coverage and reaction to the D23 Expo panels for Marvel Studios, Lucasfilm, and 20th Century Fox. Which order that's going to be in, we have no idea. But after the show's over, or if you want to do right, if you're on the browser, go to click on the video description, and we have actually a link to next week's show, so you can click on that. You do one of those remind me events, so that way you don't miss out. Because we're going to be doing what we did San Diego Comic-Con, where we talked for hours and hours and hours and hours about San Diego Comic-Con and Marvel Studios and all age. You also got to see me cry live not on television. Could you imagine if that had been on TV and I had like this ball and then you just left it because I have to go, and I'm like,
I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, and then all just sitting and watching me alone. I'm like, this is wonderful. So next Saturday, be there with us as we cover D23. Because again, if you guys show up for these things, we will want to do more things like that and doing more streams and coverage and so on. Because we're with Endless Multiverse, we can literally do anything for any genre, but also at any event. So that's what's up. Are you excited? We're now 8 days away. Are you excited for D23?
Yes, there's a lot of things to look forward to. Hopefully there'll be a lot of announcements, but we will be live doing that, guys. Of course, you guys can watch it back. We decided to go with this route because, of course, with San Diego Comic-Con, we did a Friday show and then a Saturday show back to back, and it was a lot. So we decided to just relax a little bit and not do next Friday as typical. And apologies for people that was looking forward to that or cannot make the live event. But we definitely want to cover that because I feel like that's good. Because now our reaction to Marvel's panel at Comic-Con this year with not Endgame, Kang Dynasty, Secret Wars, all of Phase 5, Phase 6 with Fantastic Four. Those reactions, our live reactions, are there for you guys to watch back, and we want to be here to react to the announcements for what's coming from Marvel and specifically Marvel and Lucasfilm. I don't know sure about 20th Century what they're doing.
We put it in there just in case that if there's something that kind of strikes our interest. But if we kind of notice that okay, this is because I can't think of anything for 20th Century Fox unless there's something you guys in the chat. If there's something that we missed, just point it out and we will take into account. But it'll be fun. Hello, Jennifer.
Welcome.
Good to see you.
You were logging on last week, but then lost power. That is unfortunate.
Oh, that sucks. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry, but we're so glad you're here, Jennifer. We were wondering where you were last week, but we're glad you're okay. Because sometimes when you don't show up, we're like, "Oh, is Jennifer okay?" Because we're used to seeing you here each week, and we appreciate all of you being here. And whenever we sometimes don't see your names, we're like, "Going, where are they at? I hope they're okay." Because we like seeing you guys here.
Yeah, like so now we actually started learning some of the names, whatever, and so on. But I hope no food was spoiled or anything like that. Because when power outages happen,
She-Hulk was okay, but starting to dislike the short term. That is a good criticism. I agree. But it is a sitcom, and we're getting 9 episodes versus 6 with the traditional MCU. So that's the only thing, is at least we're getting more episodes. Lesser runtime. I mean, that's what WandaVision did. WandaVision gave us 9 episodes, and I felt like it if that was only 6, I don't think it would have been as good because they
Yeah,
would have had to cram stuff.
especially for their first Disney Plus show. I think there needed
Yeah.
to be something that stood out. But
hmm
Naruto wants to know: are you reacting to Star Wars season 3 this year?
No, I am not. Unfortunately, we will be talking a little bit later in the show about the Stargirl premiere, and I will definitely be giving my thoughts, whether it's on here or online, Twitter. But unfortunately, no. It's just timing wise, and just with other stuff that me and the Ghost are doing in Resolve House of the Dragon, and I'm potentially going to start picking up more stuff besides the new shows upcoming. It's going to be a lot. So unfortunately, no. But I
Picking up.
will.
Wait, sorry, you broke up there for a second. What did you say? Pick up what?
Might be picking up some other stuff on top of what I'm already kind of covering, besides the new shows that are already coming. And then real fast, Jennifer's super chat. We'll start the show.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for an X-Men announcement. I don't think it's going to happen, but it possible because we did have that Easter egg of She-Hulk. So there is a Wolverine Easter egg in She-Hulk where maybe, but I'm going to suspect that D23 Marvel's going to be mainly Fantastic Four. I think that's going to be the big thing.
I still think that maybe I don't think a movie will be announced, but I think it wouldn't shock me if at least a character to kind of have like a small role in phase 5 and 6, and then in phase 7, because I think phase 7 is all about the mutants. I think that's when they can whoever, let's say we get someone who plays our new Wolverine. He's kind of like a supporting player in phase 5 and 6, and then when we get to phase 7, we get all mutant movies or TV shows, whatever, so on, or at the same time, it's not bad if they want to wait with mutants altogether, because we have so much going on. Like, you can't really work in everything.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, so let's dive in. We're getting super chats, guys. We will get to them when we can. We do have to start the show. We're literally behind here. So Constantine, where are you at, sir? There you are. Oh, you ready? Okay.
I am ready.
Okay, Constantine, take it away.
All right then. On with the show.
You guys can't see it, but like when he's saying on with the show, I'm doing the thing like on with the show. So first we're gonna head into the MCU for a hot minute, because we have some casting news for Wonder Man, the upcoming TV show on Disney Plus. Although it's not for Wonder Man himself, it is said a return of Sir Ben Kingsley, as Trevor Slattery is set to appear in the Wonder Man series from Shang-Chi and Avengers: The Kang Dynasty director Destin Daniel Cretton. This adds more fuel into the idea that the series will be Hollywood-centered, with Simon Williams' background as an actor and stuntman. It's unclear at this point how Kingsley's character would factor into the overall storyline, or how many episodes he's being tapped for, but Variety is claiming he will play a major role in the show. Jordan, we've never really talked about this mess that is him. What do you think about it? I mean, does this? I mean, I don't think either of us have ever read a single Wonder Man comic, but what do you think about this?
I think it kind of makes sense with Wonder Man if you know anything about the character, but also too, like, I think we were all shocked, but then again, it makes sense that they had him pop up in Shang-Chi because he played the fake Mandarin, and the real Mandarin had him, like, captured him. And so I think that was a nice way to bring back that character, because of course they had Iron Man 3 and then the big reveal that he's not Mandarin, which I really wish he was, just because of how well, like, if you watch the Iron Man 3 trailers and hear his voice, and especially in the scenes he's playing Mandarin, you'll never see me coming. Like, just the way he was performing as that character, I really liked Ben Kingsley, like, being this version of the Mandarin. And so then he was kind of gone. Of course we had that one short, All Hail the King or something, like a short that was released. But then he was gone. So we'll see what they do. I just still, like, after hearing this news, I literally went back and was re-watching the scenes where he was playing Mandarin, like playing the character in the movie, and just watching those scenes and going, this was awesome. I remember how great this was. Because it was like, oh my God, he sounds awesome. Because he sounded great.
The voice was perfect.
Oh yeah, you'll never see me coming. I just love that line. I don't know why. The way he says
I'm going to offer a choice. Do you want an empty life or a meaningful death?
Also, that line, I consider myself a teacher. Ready for your next lesson? It's like, yes, Ben Kingsley.
He is their Bane, like, with that accent.
Yeah.
And Christ, that would be hilarious if they were just like trying to talk to each other in those voices.
Yes. 2027 for Wonder Man? I don't think so. I feel like it's going to be in Phase 6. I feel like because there's no announcement officially. It wasn't at Comic-Con, so but thank you for
there's nothing to talk about yet, I guess.
Yeah, also I mean, do you think they'll bring him out and maybe show who Wonder Man is at D23 since this news is out there?
It kind of would be kind of hilarious. Kind of like, if I was, I don't know if he would do it, but I would make him be in character at D23 and like, I'm not gonna even try to do the accent, so don't even try, folks. But I wouldn't be shocked like, if the reason he's been cast is because like it wouldn't show me if this show is almost gonna be like She-Hulk and Deadpool a little bit where like they're kind of like meta talking to us, watching like you're talking about Hollywood or whatever and so on. And that could be cool. I agree. I think Phase 6 seems like a likely choice. I think because Phase 5
is done. Yeah, it's all out. It's all there. Unless he surprises us, because Phase 4, we're still in Phase 4.
Yeah,
because originally what he announced at Comic-Con in 2019 was 10 projects, but then he added Moon Knight.
Then COVID happened.
Yeah, but literally it didn't include those 10 projects. Like he included.
Well, they were supposed to. They were just splitting up the two events. Like people who paid $10,000 to travel Comic-Con, we're giving you that one half, and the people paying $10,000 for other.
When Feige was asked, and he said this is all of Phase 4, and then I think, like you said, COVID happened, so everything kind of started shifting around. Then we added all these other things into the mix.
Yeah, I'm looking at Phase 5, and I would say it is too packed at this point to put in Wonder Man anywhere. Like, because we have, we have 4 movies next year, and we have 2 movies in 2024. So I would say Wonder Man would most likely make sense to put in somewhere in 2024 as part of like Phase 6.
His hope is that they'll announce Phase 6 shows. You'll get some Phase 6, and I think Wonder Man's gonna be one of those. I'm assuming he's going to announce the rest of the slate of Phase 6 since he teased it with Fantastic Four and then the ending with the 2 Avengers. And I feel like Wonder Man's gonna be in that
banner for Phase 6, and there's a lot of gaps.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
because and there were people who literally thought that was gonna be like that is Phase 6. I'm like, guys, they're not doing Phase 6 with only 3 movies. Come on, y'all. But I do think that yes, Wonder Man is likely gonna be one of the shows. I think if not the Shang-Chi sequel, the Shang-Chi spinoff will be there somewhere. And then Deadpool 3 has to be there. Like that, like it's like at this point, like because we know it's being worked on. They're writing it. Or the only Inhumans we want to see is Black Bolt and Daisy Johnson. So that's that's good for me. But yeah, I feel like Wonder Man and Shang-Chi spinoff maybe Deadpool 3. That's another. And I swear to God, if they don't work in Ryan Reynolds into Avengers Secret War, I would be like, Kevin Feige, what the fuck is the point?
It's okay, Jennifer.
Yeah, we will let you know like when we start talking spoilers. It's really good. But yeah, no, I don't care much about this character in general. Like I know, Ben Kingsley is amazing. I just remember that night going to the theater to see Iron Man 3, and like I was just sitting there like dumbstruck. Like, and my friends were like, "Is it really that distracted to you?" I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to feel about this because this feels like it's both garbage but somewhat hilarious all at the same time. So but obviously hopefully he has a good purpose when we see him in the show.
I agree.
But yeah, I'm definitely curious to see who's gonna be our Wonder Man. Definitely
lots of rumors surrounding that. I mean no harm, but do you want to think about I might do my own Secret Invasion? Oh, go for it.
Good luck, good luck and have fun, as they say in the gaming world.
Yes, and yes, I reacted to that spectacular fan made trailer. That was awesome. Yeah, it was so good. It was so good. Let's see. And do we have a release date for Wonder Man show? No, we don't. We think it's going to announce the D23, Jennifer. That's the hope, at least.
West Coast Avengers would be cool. That would be a way to bring back Adrian Palicki as Mockingbird, because she's like one of the core members in that team.
That'd be cool. I mean, literally, like right now, her show, The Orville, is now done. There's no season 4 announcement. So realistically, I get, obviously they would take some time to get down to that point, but they could bring her back.
Oh, the good thing is that Orville is produced, under Disney. So it's like
Yeah,
if they would have to work around schedules, they could. I mean,
they can make it work. Marvel has been good, I think, with working around different schedules if need be, if it's possible. We ready to jump into Legendary?
Yeah, let's go for it. I mean, I don't know how legendary this announcement feels, but it's definitely legendary.
Yes. So it has been announced that Legendary Pictures is parting ways with Warner Brothers. And if you're going, huh? Legendary is a studio, but they're not like Paramount or Disney or Warner Brothers. They had a partnership with Warner Brothers for years, releasing movies, most notably Dune last year, which was phenomenal, and the Monsterverse films. They were a heavily production. Of course, they've worked on other projects as well with Warner Brothers. But
like Man of Steel, some of
yes.
the Christopher Nolan movies with Dark Knight and stuff like that. So there's
yes, and it's being reported by Deadline that Sony Pictures and Paramount Pictures are the front runners. I do not think Disney is going to try to get into this. I feel like this is going to be between Sony and Paramount. They're also saying, I saw somewhere else report this, I believe, that Legendary could still end up back with Warner Brothers, but I don't think so. I think this last straw was the whole same day and date thing, because they did not have that with because that included Godzilla versus Kong and Dune, which were two movies they put up a lot of money financially to get those movies made. And then the same day and date thing happened, and they were unaware of this, so it was a major blow to their relationship. And so I don't blame Legendary for leaving the partnership. But how do you feel about this? In which studio do you think they're going to go with?
I don't feel one way or the other about it, because I feel like this has kind of always been their fate has always been spelled out what they're going to do with this. I feel like they extended it for because they each side benefited from it. But I think if anything, it wouldn't shock me if Paramount is the one to go for it, because I feel like Sony is I still feel like they're recovering in some ways from the Sony hack from all those years ago. I feel like there's and I don't know why. There's a lot of IPs that comes with the Legendary. I pulled it up just to see and what films they produced. They did Batman Begins, Superman Returns, they did 300, Watchmen, the Hangover movies, Inception, a lot of the Christopher Nolan and Zack Snyder movies.
Wow.
They did Inception. They done a lot.
Did Legendary do Pacific Rim?
Yeah, Pacific Rim, the sequel. They did Straight Outta Compton, Jurassic World. They did Warcraft. They did Kong Skull Island, and they did Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, Black Klansman, and Detective Pikachu.
The Jurassic World, that's Paramount, right? I think that's Paramount.
Yeah, I would assume so.
I think it's Paramount.
I have no idea. I have never seen a Jurassic World since I was a kid.
It might be Universal. I could be wrong.
But yeah, they've done a lot of. There's a lot of franchises that Paramount could get attached to, because Paramount has, I think they have the Mission Impossible films. They have, of course, Star Trek and stuff like that. So this would give them a lot more. I think they would actually be willing to bid more for them.
Thank you. It's Universal. So
yeah, wait, I don't know why it's not. What? Sorry.
I was surprised Universal's not in the front running here, or trying to get them, since they've already worked together.
I mean, just because we haven't heard about it doesn't mean that they haven't necessarily not tried. It's always possible, but I do think Paramount is going to be the one that kind of outbids all of them. Now, it would be kind of funny if Disney somehow did get attached to this as well. But I don't know. Yeah, I am. It's up to them. For me, I just, I don't really care which. Normally I don't really care too much who works with who, whether it's in terms of studios and production companies. So as long as we're just getting good movies, I will show up and watch. And
that's the most important thing is the movies, the quality. And I think this is a blow to Warner Brothers Discovery, because they definitely have some great films that they've worked on, and Warner Brothers losing that partnership, I feel like that's a major blow. Because I don't know. I'm wondering, when is the partnership officially in? Is Dune 2, part 2, still going to be?
The deal. Their deal from what Deadline said is it's that has expired. They're just putting out the rest of the films they have right now, and then from that, like next time
Okay.
let's say if they announce like another Godzilla spinoff, then we're probably gonna hear.
I think it's Dune Eternal, or no, Dune Messiah is the second book, which people are hoping that Denis Villeneuve does the second novel because part 2 of Dune will encompass all of Dune, the first book. So Dune Messiah. So if they were to do that, also they're doing a Dune spinoff like a show, and they're still moving forward with that. So I'm guessing Legendary is not involved in that, or they must be. I would think.
Because I started Googling Dune as you were talking. Let's see, part 2, future. That's why I'm okay. Let's see, Dune, the Sisterhood. In June 2019, Legendary Television announced it is producing a series, Dune, the Sisterhood, for Warner Media streaming service HBO Max. As far as here's the thing, just because they have an HBO Max, it doesn't necessarily say anything about that there's still a partnership. It's kind of like when you put Gotham on Fox or something like that.
It could be just one of those things to where they still make the show. It's just that they just don't it's a separate deal. It's not like a partnership like they had before. It's just a licensing thing or something.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's because I remember I grew up with a lot of those films. I remember one of the first booths I ever went to at San Diego Comic-Con was like the Legendary booth and so on. Like they had things from Man of Steel, and they were like teasing Godzilla and so on. So it's gonna be weird not seeing them together anymore. But it can be a setback for Warner Bros., but I don't think it's a huge significant blow in general because they have so many freaking IPs that it's just ridiculous that I'm like, yeah, I mean, they will be fine without.
Yeah.
And that will probably prompt them to probably, try and get their stuff together so that we can see things coming out. But shall we move on to some not great news?
Jennifer is asking how many seasons of House of Dragons. It's got a second season, and I think they said that they have enough for at least 3 seasons in terms of stories. And she's also saying that Fernando is actually Kevin Feige in disguise, which I agree.
I can believe it. I think House of Dragon. I think they could stretch it out to 5 seasons because that's what these companies do.
I mean, literally, I think that house, that Fire and Blood book back that's kind of based off what I was telling you about. I think there's a lot of story that they can definitely do with that. And I feel like they'll probably give them as much as they want if it continues to be successful. But let's dive into I guess it depends on how you look at it. But
well, let's just get into it. So while we had some DC present at San Diego Comic-Con, a lot of people were assuming that that the lack of DC present at San Diego Comic-Con meant that they would do more things at DC fandom this year. Well, the cat is out of the bag for the rest of y'all because Warner Bros. Discovery said in a statement to the press this week that with the return of in-person events, Warner Bros. Discovery is excited to be able to engage with our fans live at numerous Comic-Cons around the world and will not be scheduling DC fandom for 2022. Now, I want to make this perfectly clear. This is only for this year. They're scrapping it for this year. They're not counting DC fandom altogether. Like they're not giving up on DC fandom as like an event. Like they're just saying that this year we're not doing it because what's hilarious about it in the end is the fact that when they're talking about there's all these other events. Besides New York Comic Con, what the fuck else is there for you all to do? Now, Jordan, how this came out a few days ago. So how are you feeling about this by now?
I'm not surprised, but also too, like, what are they going to talk about? All the stuff they push back, all the stuff they're axing. Like, what are they going to talk about? Like, if there was a DC fandom this year in October, like last year, right? What would they talk about?
To be Flash and Superman, basically. Titans, Doom Patrol.
But it's like at a certain point, it's like right now it's not a good time to be a DC fan unless you are watching Stargirl or if you're watching old DC content, because right now you're not getting anything. And of course Black Adam's coming out, but like with all the bad stuff that's been happening with DC, it's just really hard to be a DC fan at the moment. So, but I mean, I'm not surprised they did this because David Zaslav is like, literally, he's literally axing everything. He's literally walking around saying, "You got axed." He axed DC fandom. He's like, "We're done with this." And so, I'm not shocked. You know what would have shocked me if they would have done it? Like, oh, so after all this, you're still doing it? Okay.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you can do a DC fandom, like it doesn't have to just be dependent on like having to show footage of things. It's more so that because the thing is, they have still anything. I get it. A lot of people are like, David Zaslav is not their favorite person. I totally get that. The problem with it is that in order for us to get good things, they have to do a lot of a lot of these acting of things that are not successful for them or financially beneficial for them. So again, the backlash is just garbage in general, but for me, and I feel so bad. I feel really bad for the creators of all those shows that got pulled from HBO Max, but it's not like David has a personal grudge or agenda. He's having to think financially to make the studio profitable again, because there's been problems with Warner Brothers for the last, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years. So for me, you could have done DC fandom definitely. You could have shown off Titans, Doom Patrol, The Flash season 9, Superman Lois season 3, something with something with Gotham Knights. You could do something with you can start rolling out the rest for Green Lantern, and there's other announcements they're going to be making soon. So there are things coming. Like I promise you, there are things coming, but it's just, you really don't want to do it in a week where this week, ironically, this week was very calm for DC. Like there was, for one, it was nice that there wasn't any more cancellations of stuff and so on. They're there's just things, there are things happening now. But and I don't know, I know people don't like me saying this, but sadly, these things are natural when it comes to an end of a merger, because it's there's what were you laughing at?
It's a good time to be DC fan. We got a time machine and go back in time where DC was actually doing well. Jesus.
I mean, that's fair enough, but but yeah, we will see. I mean, I also felt that. See, well, that's the thing. That's the whole point. That's what I think. Look. You think David Zaslav wanted to, it's like if David Zaslav somehow enjoys having to do all this? No, because he knows that he's the one getting now. Again, I'm no defender of him. I don't agree with everything he's done, but I can understand from a business standpoint why he's having to do some of these things, because he wants their consumers to be excited. He wants people to love, whether it's DC stuff or Game of Thrones or whatever. And so he wants people to be excited and actually tune in for their stuff. But it's like, in order to get that, you have to trim the fat. So
they're cutting animation. We do know that. They're still making animated films, like straight to DVD or straight to home media, because they announced those at Comic-Con this year. So they're still making movies, and they still have more stuff coming out this year. Jennifer says, I love Marvel, Star Wars, Transformers. Well, yeah, we remember the Transformers stream where you had a lot of information on Transformers. I'm a DC fan at heart, so it's hard to be a DC fan. By the way Warner Brothers should ask the guy who runs it how it should have ended for tips. Ended for tips.
I think she's referring to Alan Horn, who used to work for Warner Brothers.
Maybe. But it is hard. But I mean, there is that's the thing. There's other stuff to look forward to.
Yeah,
other stuff to kind of focus on right now, while DC's trying to get their stuff together. Because he's right, Warner Brothers under AT&T, we were getting a lot of stuff, but they were financially running it into the ground.
That's some things worked, some things didn't work for them. But yeah, I understand that people are, we see the memes, we see the jokes on Twitter, whatever, and so on. But it's like, at the end of the day, they want to get back to being a profitable studio and so on. Yeah. But there's just there are things that they have to fix first and so on. But I found out a couple months ago that DC fandom wasn't happy, so I've kind of been able to I've already moved on. I agreed. I didn't really cry. I agreed, and then I moved on, and then I snored. Then I because I found it on the late, it was late in July. That I found late night in July, and I was like, well, that sucks. All right, I'm going back to bed. So
I don't blame you.
Also, it was a hot summer night. So I was just it was when I'm tired and it's sweaty, like it's just that's not a good time to be around me at all. But now we're gonna move on. Oh no, what happened?
How it should have ended YouTube channel. Like
Oh,
they
that was
should how it should have ended. That makes a lot more sense, Jennifer, and you are correct. And also, I love the way you spelt this. The Winnie the Pooh horror movie trailer. Yeah, did you see that? Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
I saw one picture and then I decided to never look up that term ever again because I'm like, what in the name of sanity has been produced?
I don't blame you. I do not blame you. Are we ready to get into some Rings of Power?
Yeah, so this is your final spoiler warning, everyone. If you have not seen the first 2 episodes of Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, which now streams on HBO Prime, maybe just mute us.
Prime. You said HBO Prime.
Oh, Christ. There's too many streaming services.
It's too much.
So we're diving into episode 1 and 2 of Lord of the Rings. Kick it off, Jordan.
Yes. So the first 2 episodes are out. They released actually Thursday evening. And I watched them when I was dead tired. I was planning on reacting to them, but I was just so exhausted and the timing was just bad. And I just said, you know what? I'm just going to watch. I'm just going to sit back and watch it on my TV and just to see what happens. So here are my honest thoughts. Because I was thinking about this a lot today, getting prepared for this. My initial thoughts were, number one, and I've been saying this since the trailers came out, the show looks beautiful. The visuals are fantastic. It is one of the best one of the best shows I've seen visually in terms of the CG work. They spent so much time in post-production, it's insane. But besides the Galadriel stuff, especially in episode 1, the other storylines I'm not really caring too much about. But obviously, this is just the first 2 episodes. I'm not expecting to fall, because there's people who've instantly fell in love with the show with these first 2 episodes, and that's fantastic. But for me, I'm not there yet, and especially with episode 2, because see, there was a lot of people before the episodes officially released for everyone else. There's a lot of people saying episode 1 is slow and episode 2 really picks up. I actually liked episode 1 more than episode 2. And that may be a little jarring for some people, but I honestly liked episode 1 better. The first big chunk of the episode where it's Galadriel and everything before it actually gets to the actual logo in episode 1, I really liked that stuff. I really liked that big chunk. And then just the rest of stuff, I'm like, okay, we're introducing all these characters to Harfoots, and okay, there's this mystery, the stranger at the end of episode 1. But when we get into episode 2, I just really wasn't connecting with it. I think it looks beautiful. I just wasn't connecting with the storytelling. And this is what kind of scared me, because I thought the marketing was like visually awesome. They were showing some great shots, but they were really not talking too much about story until the very end, when they really had to, because they were about to release the show. And I'm not really connecting with the most of the story. I'm glad that Galadriel stuff, at least for me, works, because she seems like she's like the main character of the show with screen time. But everything else, it's going to take some time. But I mean, I think the cast is great. I just think the storytelling just leaves me a little feeling like, okay. I mean, so overall, I think it's solid. I'm hoping that the next episodes will pick up and everything, but I'm not loving it. I'm not loving it. How do you feel about it, sir?
I had a bigger love for this, and it's funny because I'm not even I have never read the Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit or anything like that. So for me, I only have ties to this franchise through the movies and other media stuff, but barely. And so for me, when it comes to the show, for me, I've always loved this world. I've always loved this universe of it's a good adventure story, that and it's also very classical, good versus evil. Back in a time where it was a little simpler than this, and Galadriel is definitely for me she's a selling point. But I will say that, and the whole thing with Nori and the stranger is I'm keeping is he Gandalf?
I think
I feel like he's supposed to be he is someone that we have seen in the movies. He has to be someone like bonkers insanely big that we have seen in previous stories. But I love the first 2 episodes. I think episode 2 is like wait, like and everything. I understand the complaint people, the issue people have with the pacing and so on. But the thing is, we're introducing a whole new era of Lord of the Rings that we haven't seen before. That has, like don't as far as I know, they don't exist necessarily as books. There's like ideas and concepts by J.R.R. Tolkien, but I don't know if they like. There's no Rings of Power book that they're pulling this from.
There's a chapter Rings of Power, but it's not this story, from what I'm understanding.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Because Christ, could you imagine because the thing people had issues with Hobbit was that it's just one little book you made into 3 movies. Could you imagine if they took one chapter and made it into 5 seasons of a television show? People would be like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" But no, for me, I think that these 2 first episodes they need to do world building. Like, think about it. Like, okay, so let me take this to compare to maybe some of the Arrowverse pilots, which again, in production, like there is no competition. Lord of the Rings is winning, all right, but I'm talking just in terms of like, if you look at the Flash pilot, the Superman pilot, the Black Lightning pilot, the Arrow pilot, and so on, those pilots in general, when you look at all those 4 first episodes, whatever, they're setting the ground for what what their world looks like. Like, who are these characters, like what are some traits about that we should know, and so on. And then they started going deeper into like, why does something happen, or why is something the way it is, etc. And I felt like with Lord of the Rings, like episode 3, we're doing episode 3, I felt we are going to pick up more steam as well, because they only have, but also they also get a lot of things covered in that 1 hour, because that's the thing, like we're used to having, for us who watch still network television, we get 40 minutes if we're lucky. But now we actually had like 60 minutes where, like, yes, the reason it's a little bit slower is because they're now actually getting time to tell everything. If this had been done for, I don't know, if this had been done for like Fox or CBS, whatever, and so on, you bet like there'd be a lot of things that would feel rushed because like they have to get to something. And then there's about, deleted Blu-rays and DVDs that you have to see deleted scenes from. But I think our Galadriel is, like, she is phenomenal. Because she was one of the characters Galadriel was someone I connected with, in those original movies with Katie Blanchett, and it's like, and of course, it's so hilarious seeing all the people who are like, the obvious people who hate this, that is like, but like, what do you think Galadriel did before she became where she is in the movies? Like, she obviously had a life of her own, and like, why could, for all we know, she could have been. There you go. She could have been like a warrior queen or whatever, and so what, like a warrior elf or something. But I love that. And Nora in the Stranger storyline is very intriguing to me. I think. Again, because there's a lot of character names that I don't know much about, that I cannot remember, because it's, again, there's like 25 series regulars or something like that. But like, I love the little bickering between that elf and the dwarf, who he's supposed to be related to someone that we know, right? Like he's someone's ancestor or whatever.
I think so. Yeah.
Disa, I love Disa. She is hilarious. She's like the best dwarf on the show right now. But yeah, I would say, like, for example, like things didn't get interesting until the end of the episode 2, when it came to the mother and her son, who found supposed to be Sauron's sword, right?
Yeah, I think that's what that is. And obviously people are already theorizing who's Sauron in the show, who's hiding as Sauron. It's gonna be somebody we're probably not expecting, or it's gonna be a guessing game. Because Sauron's not gone, clearly. We know that. So who is pretending to be somebody yet? Like, who is Sauron pretending to be? And
which one of these motherfuckers is a scroll?
Exactly, they're all scrolls. Jennifer, there's no hate. You've seen the movies. You definitely need to see them. You definitely need to see them.
Great. Watch extended cuts.
Yeah, watch the longer version. Trust me, it's going to feel like a nightmare to get through, but it's worth all the extra stuff that Peter Jackson did. And to the point I want to bring up again is that the super chat about Galadriel becoming her movie self, and I understand your point. I don't think that's going to happen until towards the end of the show. Like, not the season. I mean, the end of the show was when they might start implementing what you're used to seeing from Galadriel, because this is a Galadriel that lost her brother, that fought to try to stop Sauron and everything. And look, the whole setup in that first episode, like, really establishes where she's at right now. So this whole thing of her becoming what we're kind of used to in terms of Lord of the Rings, that's far away. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's time jumps between each season, like significant time jumps.
Oh yeah, I think that I would not be surprised if the first 2 seasons are kind of set within the same kind of times. But by the time we get to season 3, that's when they kind of jump ahead, because it all depends on like when we will actually get season 2.
I mean, and we get this point, but I mean, it's a very different time period. She was in a war. She had to because her brother died, and then there's the marking of Sauron on him. So, like the way that's established, there's no way she could not pick up the sword. And obviously, with that last minute decision of her brother telling her, and that's why she jumped off the boat at the end, because she knows it's not done. She knows that this whole thing of the war's over, it's crap. Like she just did it because she didn't want to cause a problem with the king. Like there was already issues, going on. Like his Elrond told her, if you do this again, like you're already pushing it already now. And so when that little moment where he's about to hand her the crown, like that little thing, like there was a hesitation there. He's like, are you going to accept this and accept the fact that this is done?
No.
Yeah.
It's a power struggle.
Yeah, and it's like a thing to where, is she going to speak up and what she really believes that Sauron is still out there? That's why she wanted to keep pushing. Yes, but she knows at that moment she wasn't going to win. That it was just going to not go in her favor. So now with her MIA, essentially, what they think that she's gone now, but she's not. It's be interesting to see what happens when she comes back.
Well, I think that like also because people are also used to that, because even though Galadriel is very, she's phenomenal in those movies because of Cate Blanchett's performance, we have to also remember she doesn't like she never got to take part of the wars. She never got to be part of any fight scenes, anything like that. She's a very, I don't want, it's passive is not the word I'm looking for. She has a function, but like she is not like physically integral. In concept, she is. So, and I think that's what people are so pissed off is the fact that they're thinking that they're taking away a character that we all knew, but like we don't really know, like if you've only seen the movies, we don't really know much about her. So now we're seeing it's her origin story. We're seeing her origin story of how she's becomes the legend that she's known to be, but also it's giving her another layer. I think I do think that like that. And I know there's been debate about like, is this connected to the movies or not, and so on. And I love that no matter what franchise we talk about, is this show connected to this TV show? Are they set in the same universe? Is this movie set in the same universe? Is parallel Earths, whatever, and so on? I beg to God that Amazon Prime never considers a Lord of the Rings multiverse because it will be a nightmare. We have oh my God, a great, huge super chat from Jennifer. Thank you so much. I saw the Spider-Man No Way Home more fun stuff version. It's actually kind of sad because Peter gets called a freak. They still want to do Spider-Man stuff in the school. It kind of makes Spider-Man No Way Home even more of a perfect movie. Yeah, I'm not gonna go see it because I feel like I've already paid my money enough. I bought it on digital. Are you gonna go see it at some point?
No. I mean, the stuff's already out there. It's not really worth the watch. But I mean, I think that's an interesting thing they add in to where they're making fun of him and they're calling him a freak, but yet they still want him to perform as Spider-Man to kind of just prove even it's like, come on, leave the guy alone. Because I mean, I think I know what scene she's referring to because I think there's like a gym scene where he's like there, and I can't really hear the audio, but like it was like a clip playing on TikTok or something. I was just scrolling through, someone had just recorded a screen at a theater, but like you hear people yelling freak or something, and it's like, oh, okay. So it's like they played it up in the original cut where he just goes to school and the teachers are acting all uncomfortable, like, oh, we want you to be here, but then the kids are being assholes because they had that whole shot in the trailers in the movie where they're all holding up phones to get pictures and video of Spider-Man. So it's like really,
that's why I will never have kids.
Exactly.
Jennifer also says, I can't believe I miswrote this 5 minute away home time. It's fine. I can tell that you're on your phone. It's all perfect. Like you're sending us your comments from your phone. It's perfectly fine. But
okay.
What when it comes to Sauron, like I feel like I'm hoping they've already decided who that's gonna be.
I think they have, yeah. Because they're revealing it at the end of the season, maybe.
I just don't. If it is the Meteor Man, it's gonna be so cheesy because I'm like, guys, it's too simple. It needs to be. I think like Sauron has been in the first 2 episodes. We've seen the face. We just don't know who it is yet. But I mean, God forbid if Sauron ever takes on a female form, because we know who's going to be angry about that.
My dog.
Yeah, Lucy's gonna be like,
She's gonna be
the
angry.
fuck?
Yeah, Lucy's gonna be so pissed. Because like if I tell Lucy, hey, so Sauron's a girl, she's gonna go, fuck! What the fuck? God damn it! That's I don't know how I got that leaked footage, but I did.
She looked like you almost.
Yeah, and then here's the thing: when Sauron reveals himself, this is what he's going to be saying to everybody when they see the shock on their faces when this is Sauron.
I'm 10 steps ahead of you, and you haven't even figured out what game we're playing yet.
I had to pull the clip.
Another clip.
I had to pull the clip.
This motherfucker kept talking so much about Prometheus today when we were talking about She-Hulk on the phone that I'm just like, I feel like he's building up to something, but I don't know what he's trying to say here.
Sauron's always 10 steps ahead of everybody.
Oh Lord.
Final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I enjoy the show, and it's been nice to have because I haven't really had a good fantasy show for a hot minute, like this, because I never got into Game of Thrones, and I likely will never get into Game of Thrones. So for me, this is my fantasy epic that I will be tuning in for every week.
Mm-hmm.
And here's Journey. I honestly do not know how many clips he has at this point, because I feel like if
that was only a new one. Don't worry, I'm not lying.
Okay,
I'm not lying. Wink, kidding. No, nothing else. That was it.
A liar, a scammer. You're a messy bitch who lives for drama.
I'm thinking of adding more, but it's fine. That's only a new one.
But we're gonna head now into our last TV episode discussion. So this is gonna go into the Stargirl season 3 premiere. Now, if you haven't seen the season 3 premiere, y'all, spoilers are coming. You've given your final warning. So we pick up months after. It seemed like almost like a year after season 2, and the frenemies saga has begun. People are trying to redeem themselves, trying to become besties, join the JSA. Starman is Starman, and we have our murder mystery now to deal with. Now, Jordan. Oh wow, your screen went really.
Sorry.
It went really dark.
You start. I'm in the middle of something.
Okay, no worries, no worries. I had I mean I will make this clear to everyone, just so that everyone knows. I have seen the first 6, but I will only talk about episode 1, and I will do my best not to even remotely hint at anything that's coming. Stargirl is just so damn charming. Like every time they come back from their hiatuses, I love kind of just getting back to the status quo things, and just again like seeing it's a good I would say that this is probably one of the best teen dramas when it comes to the DC universe and so on. Like they're actually in school, they're doing stuff, and they actually deal with like consequences. Like that's why I thought it was so funny that Stargirl was called Stargirl summer school, for all of season 2. I love the subtitles with everything. Yeah. But no, it was when I say a soft season premiere, I mean it in the best way possible, kind of like, because for me, like when we build up when we build up to the action, we get some really good executions, and we also did have some action. Artemis was flipping around and hitting people with a baseball bat. I'm just like, girl, come on, we're so damn close. Just take off that stupid mask and put on like a quiver and a bow and an arrow. So we're so, because I love this Artemis so much. I'm just like, guys, come on, we're so close to having finally a great Artemis in live action, because. And if anyone of you all even likes the Artemis that we got on Arrow, who I call Fakemus, I will never acknowledge your comments ever again. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, and the murderer, I mean, I really want to know who it is. Because because it has to be Mr. Bones. It's like Mr. Bones has to have something to do with all of this. But I also love that because Shiv is one of my favorite characters, and I just love how like there really is two sides to this issue where like, oh, so we're just letting anyone into the JSA now. Okay, I see how it is. You know, like, and even Rick without his super strength, he is, you know, getting angst and being like, yeah, listen, I feel like he's just ready to beat the crap out of Shiv because like, I do not trust you.
Mhm.
It was weird seeing like Joel McHale with I never knew that I needed Joel McHale in a tight t-shirt and an apron and like doing like house things. Like, and also just for record, I'm not saying that like, oh, Joel McHale doesn't do like house chores or anything like that in real life. Of course he does. You know, he's a real human being. Like, you know, but for me, I'm just like the idea of just because, you know, Jeff Winger on Community that he played, you would never see that. You would never see him just like, you know, just the mere idea of him like having to fix like a room would just be like, ew, yuck. But so really good season premiere. I am if it's on in a good track. How did you feel about the season premiere?
So 1 second. Okay. I overall enjoyed it. I think it was a good way to reintroduce us to the show because literally the show has been gone for a while. The murder mystery, I told him on the phone, I don't care that the person died. I just don't care. But obviously, it must be tied into Mr. Bones. Someone also mentioned too, they don't trust Starman. I don't either. Cindy Switchup, I mean, she's not, you know, hero, but I feel like she's gonna go. I mean, that whole thing helping that lady across the street.
She was hating herself so
I know.
much. Like,
people think it's shade. I don't think it's shade. I don't think so. I mean, it could be, but I don't think so. I feel like it's too obvious. People are saying it's Starman. I mean, it could be because people are saying that Starman's controlled by Mr. Bones. I mean, you might not be wrong. You might not be wrong, but me and my wife with the ghost, we enjoyed it, and seeing Artemis jump around and take all those guys because like there's only like 5 or 6 guys and they were all standing there ready to go, and then she just jumps in proving herself because her mom's like, my daughter will prove herself to Courtney's mom, Barbara. Like, my daughter will prove herself to the JSA. Like, what?
Barbara's like, I have nothing to do with that. I can't make any decisions.
Nothing, just nothing to do with it. But yeah, it was good. It was overall good.
We have to bring up this up for a second. It was sad to see Rick Barry Grundy. Yeah, can we also talk about the fact because I was on the Sargo podcast recording it, and they made a good point. If he doesn't have his strength right now, how the hell did he carry Grundy all the way into the woods and then bury him?
Well, he had like it around his neck. Like he had an hourglass around his neck. Like I don't know if that's the actual stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Also, who's taking care of Greg right now? Like his uncle is, God knows where his, and I never want that uncle to come back. Like, it has to be that Luke. Pat obviously killed Uncle Rick, Rick's uncle. Like it's just I would be shook to the core if somehow he's still alive there because it's like Pat was just a little too calm after his uncle just disappeared.
Yeah,
and I don't know.
It's all crazy. But I think Grundy will come back. That's my guess.
I hope so. I can't believe that. I'm like, I love Grundy. I love his little relationship with Rick. Like that's like the friendship I need more of.
Fartimus. That's terrible.
Yeah, but okay, just to explain to people why I say that is because she is nothing like. First of all, they whitewashed Artemis. Because if y'all think that girl, like if you're thinking about the Artemis from the comics and from Young Justice, that's an effing woman, and also just all the setup they did. Like first she goes and takes Laurel's Black Canary costume, like not even a night after her death, and then she becomes part of the new Team Arrow, and then it's like we need to have another female archer. Well, we have someone, we have Fia, but no, we don't know what to do with her. So for me, I'm just like, this is what the best you could do. So when she never came back from the island, like I think you said that we were talking about a couple. They didn't talk. Nissa said she was gonna go looking for her, and then she never came back. I'm like, good.
Yeah, Nissa said she was looking for her and it was never addressed. I feel like they just I don't know. Let's see. He ended season 2 with Dad's Notebook. He's trying to re-extend the hourglass. Yeah, so I think he's trying to work on it. I think we'll probably see him actually working on this. Hopefully.
I just love that they let Rick be smart, that he isn't just like, like the angry brawl or anything like that. So it's very refreshing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Triple X. I will try not to bring up more bad memories. But we do have someone on the line waiting for us.
Someone on the line. I think he's ready to jump in. Are you ready? We have a last minute thing that was added in, and we're welcoming Busy.
Hello.
Hello.
Now, first of all, we're glad he's on the show, but the reasoning is pretty shit. We have some unfortunate news. I think you're going to love this simple graphic here. Busy. So vote pile. We're talking about vote pile. So explain to the folks what happened and why you're here, because this is some pretty messed up shit that you let me know about a couple days ago.
So yeah, Warner Brothers is they're, I don't know how to say this without sounding too hardcore. I don't know. They're all over the place with their copyright stuff, I mean, a lot of people are just all of a sudden getting hit for videos that, let me remind you, aren't even from any time, recently. They're just, people are getting hit from 2020, 2019. People are getting punished for videos that aren't necessarily breaking any rules. And they're
definitely not getting views.
No, yeah, they're not getting any views. And I mean, I know for a fact that I followed all the fair use and did all that stuff, for the video that I got striked on personally. And I honestly, while I was in the waiting room, I'm hearing about 2 more cases of people that just got
really
hit. Yeah, and I don't want to say any names, but I know someone got hit for Game of Thrones as well, and another person got hit for season 8, episode 3, the same episode that I got hit for Arrow.
Okay, I think we can say. I think you're
episode 3. What is up with episode 3?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out. So I think you're referencing Akasan because he made a video about it. Is that?
Yeah.
That's that person.
There's another person that got hit with Game of Thrones. Yes.
Okay, but he didn't say who that was though. But it was the season 6 finale, episode 10, "The Winds of Winter." So I talked to Andy about this because I was curious to kind of get his take, because I wanted to talk about this. And when I told him about your episode 3, Arrow season 8, Leap of Faith, and then Akasan, the same exact episode, Andy mentioned like it could be some music that's in that episode that maybe was, because it's very specific. It's that particular episode for 2 different people.
And what episode did you say it was for Game of Thrones?
Season 6, episode 10.
Because someone got hit for a season 8 video.
Really?
Yeah.
So okay, so. And this was today, or we don't know when it happened?
I don't know. I was just told that it was for season 8. Yeah.
Wow.
And I also got told a couple days ago, right? Because you were the first person I went to. Like, you are one of the first reactors that I was ever familiar with. So I was like, because I remember when I first started my channel, I didn't know what I was doing. All I know is that I wanted to, go out there and make jokes while I was watching shows. So I was just like, reaction seemed to be an easy way to do so, but I had no idea what I was doing. But you were always the first person to post the videos that I was trying to post. So I was like, let's just check this dude out. Let's see how it is. And then I was like, all right, clearly he knows what he's doing. So I'm gonna follow him. So I was just, this is the guy to go to. So I had to ask you, but
thank you.
Yeah, it's just crazy to see. A lot of people are getting hit, and I've reached out to another person, and I guess somebody else got hit for Arrow. I don't know if it's the same exact episode, but apparently Arrow did strike another, and not Akasan, a whole nother YouTuber. So
is it 1 strike per channel? That's kind of what's coming across. Is it seem
so far? That's what it's looked like. I think I did see somewhere that someone did. This was like a couple months ago. And I was talking to someone that's, I guess, got 3 strikes, 2 for Lucifer, 1 for Supernatural, and they had to contact YouTube. That way they didn't get their entire channel wiped, Yeah. So it is happening specifically for Warner Brothers, content. Married to the Real, I know, also got.
Yeah, they got hit, and they were.
I was talking to. They were responding to my tweet yesterday, and I was saying, I guess Arrow was a problem, I guess, for them as well. So it's just crazy.
Yeah. So while you guys were talking, I like there's websites that like do like guides, guidebooks or whatever for like songs that are used in 8 episodes of television. So I Googled songs in Arrow season 8 episode 3 because I'm like, this is the only thing I can think of. There's no copyrighted music whatsoever in that episode. Like, it is all original score by Blake Neely. So I'm like, well, okay, if that's not it, then what is it with that episode?
And even then, I always try my best to leave out music, especially when I first started.
Mhm.
I was scared of everything. I wanted to make sure this didn't happen. I'm a little more calm when it comes to things now because I've gotten strike before for crap that just didn't make sense. So we usually always get it resolved. But the idea that it's not just happening to me, it's happening to several other reactors is what's kind of throwing me off. Because if it was just me, I would try to deal with it myself and get it all figured out. But I'm reaching out to all these different people. I'm seeing on Twitter, it's not just me. It's a whole bunch of other people dealing with this.
Yeah, it feels like it's. See, the thing is, it had to be a manual situation because it's very particular. Because I had referenced this on Twitter. Back in 2017, there was a massive amount of Warner Brothers blocks. They were blocking like 10, 12, 15 videos a minute, just blocking. And obviously not strikes, but I had to go and dispute every single one, and they released them. But this feels like, since it's not Warner Brothers, it's a third-party Vobile.
Mm-hmm.
I looked into their website, and they have Discovery under one of their banners as stuff that they work with. They have Netflix on there, and they also have Warner Brothers music or some sort of music tie-in with Warner Brothers. And that's why his mention of a song, I'm like, maybe that's tying in, but I think it might be something to do with the Discovery merger with Warner Brothers, that they're coming in and that they're kind of overly hitting certain stuff.
So when did the deal officially go through? When did they finally get everything?
Months ago, which is weird.
Because on TikTok I did receive a lot of claims a month or two ago. So I did get a lot of claims and specifically Warner Brothers content, like my Snyder Cut, certain reactions to that Rick and Morty content. So it was happening specifically for Warner Brothers. So and
I'm wondering because do we know because I know that you emailed them individually and then you countered their strike. Has anybody else done these things, or what are they doing about it? Do we know?
I saw one person that I was talking to said that I guess they had to contact YouTube afterwards. Like, it was them dealing with the contact. Let me see what it was. They emailed using the contact given on the strike. They also disputed the strikes in the end. After a few days, they got a response saying that they'd lift them, but it took a few days for YouTube to respond and release, but they ended up getting their channel back in a couple weeks.
Do you know? Okay, so that was when the channel was taken down.
This was yeah.
Okay, so everybody else, we don't know what they're doing with.
I haven't gone. I haven't really asked. Me, I know personally. Whenever I've gotten the a takedown request or just them taking down a video, they're putting down the hammer. They're being blunt. So usually the right thing to do, I guess, is just email them directly. But considering that they're asking for a legal takedown, and I know I'm pretty sure I'm doing everything that I am allowed to do. So I usually just fight back 100%, just do the counter as well as the email. That way I can get it resolved, because I don't want my time wasted, as well as, I'm assuming a lot of you don't want your time wasted. And it's the fact that we're getting our channels. For them, like, I mean, the most we're doing, like, if I was using like at least half of the episode, take down the video. That makes sense, Yes, it makes sense. But if they're over here and they're straight up, what is it called? I'm making 2 cents off of an Arrow video, two pennies. I'm using less than 10 minutes. I'm talking during, majority of the video. I know that I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm literally, my review was over 10 minutes long. It's like, so, I mean, if they're gonna, kind of clap at me, say, we're giving you a strike, then I'm usually just gonna try to do what I can and just get the channel back, whatever it takes, So I usually get the counter notification.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, it's, even if it's not getting views anymore, it's a history of what you've covered on the channel. I mean, and you definitely don't want to lose that. And I hate the fact there's people that are like privating videos.
Yeah.
The thing is, privating videos doesn't.
Yeah, I'm talking to someone right now. I literally the same thing. I literally privated all my videos thinking that was gonna work, and I haven't had an issue yet. But I'm talking to a lot of other people saying that they are nervous. They were asking me, what do I do? What are you doing? Like, do I have to do this? Do I have to do that? And it's just crazy knowing that you're gonna have to get rid of these videos that you've react. The editing isn't easy, so having to do all of this and just delete the video, it's just, I don't know, it's just infuriating.
And the limited minutes or less, I mean, it really is a gray area. Like, because I talked to Andy about this today, and Andy was saying that it literally is a gray area because, because if you don't cut enough, they're going to hit you.
Yeah.
But see, I think the thing is that this is not Warner Brothers Television. This is a third-party company that is doing it. And I think that they have to abide by the people they're working with. So I'm hoping that they're reaching out after getting responses back saying, or just verifying what is allowed and what isn't allowed. Because if you're showing 15, 20 minutes of footage, yeah, you don't deserve to have your video up. But if you're under 10 minutes and you're talking over the footage, you're cutting it, because my goal is anytime I'm editing, I don't let a clip play out more than 10 seconds. I try to cut it around 6 or 7 or maybe even 8 if I'm talking a lot over it. But sometimes it doesn't always work. You might get a claim. But I mean, literally, I edited a video for tomorrow, I'm watching the Batman show, the mid-2000s animated show. And that thing has a lot of footage. And some bits I'm cutting 6 seconds later, then I'm cutting to a bit. It didn't get hit. It didn't get blocked or claimed.
See, that's kind of what I do. What I do is if it's a long scene full of just dialogue, I'll sometimes even black out the image or make the image transparent. So you can hear the audio, but you're not necessarily
just seeing the footage just keep playing.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's I do the same exact thing. I don't want to. I don't always like to go over 10 minutes, but sometimes it happens, but if it does go over 10 minutes, I'm constantly cutting. I'm always talking. I almost never have a clip playing without me talking over it, because I won't put in the reaction unless I'm actually reacting.
Yeah, and there's only been a few times I've ever put something in where I'm not speaking, but it's important for the next bit that's coming up
to understand what you're saying, and that's literally a part of fair use. If it's contributing to what you are saying, contributing to the educational thing you're saying, and
that's why I told you when you were going to email, I said you have to tell them it's for commentary, criticism. That's why the footage that is shown is being used.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm hoping you get a response because, see, I got hit Turner EST, which works on the Cartoon Network. I'm watching Ben 10. In the past, they've not released a video. But when they hit a video a day later out of nowhere, I countered claiming fair use. And I put this whole paragraph in of fair use, mainly all the stuff you did. I responded with that along with the 1977 fair use thing from court. And they released it, I think, because they saw where I was very particular with this is constructive criticism. This is me giving my commentary, blah, 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 blah. So, and then they released it. I'm like, maybe that actually works. So I'm hoping with your case that they'll release it and go, well, he's technically right. Because if you watch the video, you're talking over it. It's not like you're just lying. The whole scenes just to play.
And honestly, if a studio is so uncomfortable with reactions, if I emailed them specifically on the side and I was like, yo, if you do not want me having this video up, just take away the strike and I will take down the video. If y'all don't want me posting reactions for Arrow, for this, I will stop doing it. It's not worth having damage to my channel if y'all are gonna make a scene over it.
Or just ask, is there a particular spot in the episode that is included that you want me to remove or mute? Because that can be done. You can go in and edit.
When you said the some of these people are getting claimed by what you call a viable, whatever it was, Vobile.
Vobile. That's the name.
Yeah, because it will say it's claimed by Warner Media, but then the email is for Vobile.
See, I think Warner Media, because Warner Media is the above company of Warner Brothers Television or above Warner Brothers, and that's bought by Discovery. Okay. So. Yeah, but the thing is, Vobile is operating for Warner Media. They're not actually Warner Media. So I feel like that's the problem. If it was Warner Brothers Television, which I think they're still in effect in regards to TV content, they would not have striked your video this much later. Since it's Vobile, it's not them. Mm-hmm. So blurring out footage. I mean, we're talking about videos that are old. This is not new stuff. They're hitting old. And you see Game of Thrones season 8. He said somebody got hit Game of Thrones season 8. That was 2019. They're hitting old content.
Yeah.
If they were hitting new content, everybody run for cover because we would be screwed.
Yeah, because I got hit with the last strike I got was Rick and Morty, and that was last year when season 5 was. I believe was airing, and season 6 is coming out Sunday, so that's awesome. But with that, it was just it was kind of a similar situation. I'm following these rules, and they blocked the video. So I just casually disputed it. I was just like, okay, you blocked it. Let me dispute it. I disputed it. The next day I woke up and that dispute, instead of reviewing it and denying it or accepting it, it turned into a strike. So it's just like some of these things, like I didn't even know they could do that. I didn't know if I disputed a video, they could just come out here and make it a strike. So it's just getting extremely, extremely overwhelming, I guess,
And he comments,
"Hey Omni, what's up?"
Omni, I sent you a link to join in on Twitter if you want.
Come join, dude.
I mean, yeah, you literally, 'cause I'm hoping that maybe in early next week you'll get a response. I mean, not Monday, it's Labor Day, but because I mean, I'm hoping that because they don't work weekends. I don't know about VoBob. I know Warner Brothers Television does not.
Yeah, I got so much content that I'm trying to push out. Some things that I've gotten early that I'm trying to get reactions for when it posts, and it's just knowing that I have this strike on the channel. It's just it's stressful.
It's dangling above you. It's exhausting.
Nah, for sure. Yeah.
Do you have limitations placed on your channel right now?
No. I just have the strike. That's
okay.
It.
Well, because before I don't know how it works, because before they used to have it to where if you got striked, you can't live stream anymore.
I'm pretty sure that's if the strike was on the live stream. Because I know when I got striked for a live stream like 2 years ago, I wasn't able to live stream for 3 months until the strike went away.
Wow.
Yeah,
and
I was so overwhelmed because after that I had like a week left of that going away, and then I got striked for the Friends reunion. So I guess it was last year. Yeah, I got striked for the Friends reunion. So I ended up having 2 strikes on my channel, which ended up being insane. I ended up messaging them about the
panic attack. That's probably a panic attack.
Like I couldn't. I kind of like shut down. I sent them the email, what I had to do, and I just went to my bed and I fell asleep. I was like, yo, like I'm hoping by the time I wake up, I will see an email, and thank God I did, because I would have been just beyond stressed. He said straight up, like, yo, you used too much, footage, which I don't think I did. I used less than I know some of the other reactions I saw. And it was he was just like, oh, just take it down and we won't have a problem. So I was just like, I appreciated that. So people want to do, like, just message me. I don't understand why that's so difficult sometimes. If I'm not forcing it and uploading the entire episode, just email me or like,
reach out.
Reach out. Yeah, I don't. It's just overwhelming sometimes.
Well, I hope it gets fixed and everything, and please keep all of us updated because we need to know. I mean, I'm just constantly checking my shit. Knock on wood.
I mean, I was talking to a couple people earlier, and again, the idea that I thought privating the videos would be enough. So I mean, I'm just gonna have to go on a rampage and just get through a lot of these. A lot of these videos again are doing absolute horrible when it comes to views. So I'm not. It's still gonna suck. It's the idea that these are memories, I guess. These are things that I love to have just in case. So it's not even necessarily
hard produced work. You edit it.
Like I like to go back. Like these shows mean a lot to me. That's the reason why I have this channel. So just having to get rid of these like experiences that I had, like my reaction to episode 5 of season 8 of Game of Thrones, or my reaction to a character death, just different things like that. Having to just wipe the slate and get rid of these videos, it just sucks.
Yeah, because if they take down my Laurel Lance death in season 4, which I recorded, that would be horrible because that's like time capsule. Let's we could sit here and keep talking about this. Let's jump into some Q&A and have some fun.
Right.
I feel like we're just sitting here, sad,
beating ourselves up, man.
Yes. Man. I have a beautiful song for Q&A. I hope you're excited for this because this is a beautiful song.
This is my first stream, so I am excited.
Yes. Already. Here we go. Q&A. Ask us questions or we'll fucking leave.
Such an extreme.
I love it. I love my song. Discovery is a pain. I agree. I mean, Charlie, I invited Omni. We got busy here. I invited Omni. I don't know what's going on.
I'll message him, see if he wants to join.
Oh, well,
speak of the devil. Speak of the devil.
Here he is.
And he's rocking the Miyagi-Do shirt.
Yeah. Good shirt. Good choice. I'm wearing a.
Be getting busy tonight.
Oh, really? Sorry, the beard is taken as my shirt.
Heck yeah,
this
man.
Beard.
So if only I could have one.
Oh, a beard?
Yeah,
you can't grow one?
This is the best it gets.
Nah, I feel that, bro. And even then, it's like invisible.
There you go. Yeah, we just we were talking about the whole thing with oh, let me show you this amazing thing, Vobile.
Yeah, I saw it. I bookmarked their contact page.
Oh, really?
Just in case. I haven't had any issues. Obviously, a lot like I mentioned when we were talking earlier that most of their stuff. I talked to Busy about it too already. Was like a lot of the stuff that at least has been coming up is before I even started. Luckily enough, because I started episode reactions. I was only doing purely trailers up until Arrow episode 8 and 9.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
you really missed that boat.
yeah,
I reached out to him. I was like, hey, yo, like delete like private or whatever episode 3 of season 8.
Yeah.
He was like, well, about that, I only started Crisis episode 9 and 10. I was like, oh well, you're all set.
I literally looked up my video today, Leap of Faith. I'm like, there it is. I wonder if Vobile's upset because they merged the future timeline and the original timeline at the end where it's like, Dad, like, Mia, what? I'm like, we hate this scene. What the hell's going on?
Like, I was just wondering, like, why the specific episodes that they're choosing. Like, because the only ones I know about are that, which I've seen multiple people getting hit for that episode.
How many people have gotten hit for that you know of? Because I think
I
only
know
3
2
people
for sure.
Yeah.
That I've talked to about it, and then I think I mentioned that people who did like Game of Thrones got one for, or not everybody, obviously, because something's going on. It's weird. That's the shaky thing about it is just, there's not really any consistency or thing to point at. Like this was the reason.
Yeah.
But when 6-10 for Game of Thrones, Winds of
Winter, yeah,
was getting picked up. And I just like, well, I mean, if this is something they're doing right now, I was like, well, I'm just like, how come, like nothing that's playing right now, which is actually actively getting views, is like I feel like that would be something you'd be going after if they were trying to make revenue off of it, or
you would
whatever.
Think like Harley Quinn season 3, House of the Dragon,
and I've had claims on those from WBTV for at least Harley a few times, and they'd go through the usual process and they just let it go.
Yeah, you just just claim. I remember that when that first started happening, people were like, "Oh no, they claimed the video. I guess I'm not earning money." And that's what happened to me for a while. But then one day, I'm like, I just responded saying claiming fair use. They're like, "All right." I'm like, "Okay, so it's just the bots. Like they don't care."
Hey, thanks, bye. Basically, is the response like, "Hey, thanks, bye."
Like whatever.
You were talking about a big old spiel script thing. Like I've got like a notepad thing. I just copy and paste anytime I get one now.
Yeah, I have a notepad as well. And when Busy had messaged me about this whole thing, and he emailed Vobiles Inc.'s Gmail account. I'm like, say this, and this. I'm like all the points. Like if you got to make a point, like, hey, I know what I'm talking about. This is criticism.
It's a Gmail.
It's a Gmail. Like they don't
this company is so
email.
cheap. Wow.
That's how most of the companies have been that have tried to strike me. They've been straight up just Gmail accounts.
It's a Gmail account, bobileinc@gmail.com.
Because I've run into like 5 strikes, I believe, that I can think of, and they've all been like false.
Yeah, I've only had 2, and it's been for music. One was Grammy's 2016 Metallica concert. I don't know why I did that. That video blew up, and it's gone. Sad. And 15 seconds of a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert during a random compilation video, and I upload it, and they're like, strike, and I'm like, can this be removed? He's like, well, you got to remove that bit. I'm like, I'll just take down the video. I don't care.
Yeah, like 3 of the videos were for like anime openings. I was just like reacting to anime openings, so I understand that. They ended up like after I emailed them, they were like, okay, that's cool, and they let it go back up. And then the 3 other ones were of course Arrow, the Friends reunion, and then the Rick and Morty episode. Those are the only ones I can think of right now.
It's just so random.
Rick and Morty is a Warner show?
Yeah, but this was like a year ago when that happened.
Oh, okay.
It's Adult Swim, right?
It was stupid because I disputed it. Like I disputed it because it was they claimed me, so I was just like, all right, like they blocked the video. I just want to get it back up, So I disputed it. Woke up the next morning and they turned that dispute into a strike. I don't know, man.
Thank you for saying if it's due to the embarrassment over the future storyline arc. That's why they took it down. Like, we're embarrassed by this arc. We just can't handle this. But then they should have taken out all of season 7. Just saying.
Sheesh, yeah.
Hey, season
What?
7 was not that bad.
The flash forwards were the only thing that threw me off. But other than that,
I
agree
like
with
that.
that.
I don't like knowing what's supposed to happen. It just takes it away from me. I don't know.
The only thing bad about those flashbacks is the horrible, like, old Dinah and Roman makeup and so I'm like their way of being old is just like by talking a little like this.
If you want to talk about looking old, have you guys seen the Supernatural finale?
Oh,
No.
I watched clips from it because I was like, I don't give a shit about the show, but I
I've
will
seen
watch
one
it.
episode of that show, and that's
Nah,
it.
I love this show, but when the finale came through and that's what we saw, I was like, hey, I understand what they're doing, but this is
you really
this is
see the
something
budget.
else.
You really see the budget. And we'll also think back to Oliver's fake hair on the island, like how bad that got at times. I'm sorry, Andy. I didn't mean to give you war flashbacks.
Oh my god, it cracked me up every time.
Oh, sorry, Jennifer. Let's see. Where was it at? Breaking news: Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool MCU additions will be announced.
No, that's coming from that stupid Marvel account that always like breaking news.
Breaking news: Marvel D23 Rings of Power Sauron. Wait, they're gonna announce Sauron at D23? What?
No, he's asking, what are your specific predictions on Marvel D23? Your thoughts on Rings of Power, Sauron, King, the King
That's a
Elf,
lot.
body. That's a lot of questions. That's a lot of questions.
Marvel D23, they're going to announce everything ever. I don't know.
I really don't know.
Wait, are you talking about predictions for D23?
Yeah,
Announce who Mr. Fantastic is.
I think they're going to announce the casting. They're probably going to confirm director, and they're probably going to announce the rest of Phase 6. Because they had started Phase 6 and then the ending, and there's all that huge chunk in the middle where nothing.
You think we'll ever get information on a Spider-Man 4 or no?
Not there, unless they have the contract signed, which I doubt it. Because they could talk about it at the Marvel Studios panel, like No Way Home, and put it in the timeline for Phase 4. But like Sony it's their product to promote.
Yeah.
So unless they allow Tom to go out there on stage and go, Spider-Man 4, Phase 6, motherfuckers, I'm back, and all that. And he's doing flips. He's flipping everybody off like, fuck you all, I'm back. Unless that happens, then, Sony's going to make the announcement. I don't know.
Sony because it's co-produced, they could be there, because I think like whenever Spider-Man events are, Amy Pascal usually not far behind. So I think that she's kind of like
she's always lurking in the.
No, I don't mean like you all got issues with that woman. I like for me, I'm just like she's a little crazy.
She's just strange.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, but
her name wasn't. What was the last one? I don't know I can't remember if it was Morbius or Venom 2, but one of them, her name was nowhere on it at all.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't work for Sony anymore. Like she has her own thing she's doing. Like she has her own producing company, and she's working with the Spider-Man stuff specifically. I'm not surprised.
I guess that's what her production company does.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. What were we going with this? If something is finalized, there's no reason why there couldn't be an announcement or two.
Are you teasing something?
When am I not teasing something?
If you were lying and Spider-Man 4 is not announced, this man's going to come into your house. He's going to axe you.
Jordan, look me in the eye.
He's going stuff from other companies.
Yeah, he's gonna come and axe Phase 6.
That would be magical if you could do that. Like Jordan, look me in the eye socket when I say I haven't said a word if there's a Spider-Man 4 announcement not coming. So you can't accuse me of shit.
Okay, so you're saying that he's confirmed for Fantastic.
Bitch, I'm not saying anything. Why are you trying to put words in my mouth?
Are you saying that Are you saying that Andrew Garfield's gonna be Spider-Man in Spider-Man 4? Is what you're saying?
I'm saying that Andrew Garfield is daddy, and we're gonna end it at
that. He's daddy.
But no, what was the question again? Let me pull up because that was a lot of questions.
Rings of Power, Sauron.
What's a recent book and or comic book arc you have all read?
I've read every issue that the Sandman season 1 covered after watching the season to compare it. So
was it a good comparison? I'm hoping.
Yeah, this might be blasphemy, but I think the show improved on it.
That's what we've heard in some instances.
Like they tamed some things down, but as far as like the overall story, I think they made the characters way more interesting than they are in the comic.
I mean, there you go. Oh my gosh. Oh, the Orville Hawk movie may
What's
not
the
have
body part of that question?
I don't even know what is body. I don't even know.
Are you talking about the stranger?
Look, AH. It says AH body. AH. What? I don't know what that is meaning.
I don't know.
I don't
the
want
Rings
to
of Power thing. Like I got a lot of thoughts on that, but I don't know.
I don't want to assume what the AH is for body because I might be wrong on that.
No, it is aha.
Sure, it's aha.
Aha, yeah, there you go. Let's see what else are people asking. Okay. So I know this was a rumor that emerged the other day. Listen, if this happens, I will be doing the flips instead of Tom Holland because I would freaking love this.
No, I think he'd kill it. Yeah, for sure.
Like
I was hearing about that.
My wife would go see Fantastic Four if this is true. Because she loves that show.
I love it. It's so good.
Yo, Omni, if you
Gossip
have time
Girl.
to watch a show on your own, watch You. You would this dude's acting in that, man. Yo, the dude is such a creep. Like this show is just about basically him being a weirdo, and they got you rooting for the villain the entire series. Like that's literally it. The dude's not a good guy.
Yeah, the fact that we're actually rooting for him is just like
there's characters that we look at and we're like, oh my god, she's such a bitch, you know. And the bottom line is they're actually trying to get justice for their they're the good guy if you look at it in normal perspective. And it's just so awesome that they can get us to side with such a creep. It's crazy.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine that we actually had to root for him against Love in that final episode? We're like, get out of the chair, get out of the table,
crazy, bro. It's crazy. Such a good show, though.
Yeah, my wife loves it. She binges it every single time it comes on. She has to watch all of it at once, or as much as she can.
Are you all hyped for the Ahsoka series?
Yes,
I am, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's just been been so long since they've announced it. I don't want to say my hype has died down, but it's just like. It's like, oh, it comes when it comes at this point, you know. So when it comes, I know I'm going to be so stoked.
I feel that.
It's unfortunate because they started shooting in 2022 when they announced it in 2020. Like, it's been a while.
Nah. And I understand that it takes time to, do some of these things, but it's just, this is a character I've wanted to see for so long, live action. We got it in The Mandalorian, but, I guess, I'm just in no rush, I guess is what I'm trying to say,
Yeah, and I'm ready because I'm excited for Andor, but I'm ready for the marketing to start up on Ahsoka because I'm ready to see Sabine. I'm ready to see Hera. I'm ready to see the cool shit, and we know they're going after Ezra. We know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
they cast him. So
I hope it's not a last episode thing.
I think it's going to be literally the first episode set up.
I don't want them to be like, oh, Ezra, and
Yeah, last episode he's like, hey, Ezra's here. He's like, hey, it's the guy from Aladdin. Woo!
And then cue the Clone Wars trumpets.
And then he throws his lightsaber over his shoulder, and it ends.
Oh,
yes, and Ezra will return in Aladdin 2.
Oh, don't even joke about that. I don't even want Aladdin 2.
Oh my god!
Is
Return of Thrawn?
Return of Thrawn.
It just feels so. No, not there's a character named Thrawn in Star Wars. I'm like, what the fuck does Eobard have to do with it? I'm like,
I said Thrawn the first time. I messed up.
I didn't even catch that. I was like, oh, that'd be funny.
I immediately was like, Reverse Flash shows up and just starts murking.
Could you imagine Tom Capper in the Star Wars universe as Reverse Flash?
I would flip a table.
You said I feel Ahsoka is going to be season 5 of Rebels. Yeah, they've kind of confirmed that it was kind of like not a soft reboot, but like it's going to have these characters.
We're gonna see Kanan and Hera's kid. Nah. We're gonna see that.
Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't know about all that. I know we're getting Hera and I know we're already getting Hera and Sabine. I know those. That's for sure
I would assume you have to because when did they do that time jump and they show Hera and the kid?
They also showed us the.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah,
their live action Chopper.
Yeah, they did. They brought Chopper on the stage like Chopper, and the way she did it was kind of weird, but at the same time, like, it's Chopper, it's cool. And then go for it.
It's been so nice to be able to say the name Ezra again without having to, get like, oh no, what happened now?
Ezra. That's not,
Like,
that's
is
not
it-
that Ezra.
Yeah. So is that character? Is he for sure? Because I know there's a lot of people have been fan casting Mina as Ezra, but like, is he actually gonna like?
Well, I know Sabine and Hera are confirmed. I don't know about Ezra.
Sabine, they
yeah,
confirmed
he's-
the casting. They showed Hera in the leaked trailer that there's someone posted an image. I'm like, oh, that's Hera. Okay.
And you
pretty
see the
sure
back of
Mina was
Sabine's head, but
confirmed.
then later on they casted her.
Yeah,
Or we see the
she-
cast.
they casted her a year before she came out on stage, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's been heavily rumored. I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion he's playing as he's also teased it on Twitter, like from
Oh,
months
yeah.
ago, that he was teasing something, and people are like, oh, and obviously he won't say anything because I'm
yeah.
betting it's like a secret thing. They don't want to reveal that officially.
Yeah. And it's probably gonna be like a 6-episode series, right?
I'm
not
hoping
sure.
more.
Yeah, I
So-
feel like we're
so
getting so many
tired
of those,
of
and I
this
understand. I'm
number.
happy that we're getting these shows, but 6 episodes, it just I don't know.
That's
It's,
why I'm looking forward to Andor. It's 12.
oh, really? I didn't know it was 12. I knew it was
Yeah.
longer than 6, but that's
I
crazy.
mean, we're getting 2 seasons,
And one show that I'm looking forward to is Born Again. Like that being 18 episodes, right?
Daredevil,
Like 19
yes.
episodes. That's crazy.
each
bro.
episode's 10 minutes long. So, no kidding.
You
Yeah,
know,
terrible.
you know what clip we need, Jordan? We need a
What?
clip of where Kevin Feige like has to like scream into the microphone. 18 episodes.
Yeah.
Like,
18 episodes, guys. And everyone's like, woo, I'm saying 18 episodes. And they're like, Daredevil Born Again. Oh, shit, Daredevil.
he's like,
Well, here's the thing,
18.
at least with that versus some of the other stuff they've done, the budget doesn't need to be as high.
This is the new the 2 other Spider-Man are not in No Way Home. This is the basically the same thing. Because everyone knew they were both in it. And this is the same thing, basically.
My fan casting going into it before he came up was honestly Raul Coley.
Oh.
But he would obviously have been a much older Ezra.
But that
at
would have been
point.
cool. I mean, potentially they could make it to where Ahsoka, I mean, she's around the same age Ahsoka would be in the timeline, but they realistically could have like the storyline be set a little bit later. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess he could play a little younger, but I don't know.
So what is this supposed to be? Is it a spin-off from the Clone Wars or is it a spin-off from Rebels?
Are you talking about
It's-
the Ahsoka series?
Yeah.
Spin off from
It's like
Rebels.
it's just a continuation of Ahsoka's journey, I guess, and not necessarily
Okay.
been off
Yeah.
of either or, but
Okay, that's fair.
it's more
I-
likely
as-
Rebels because it's going to contain the character, some of the characters from.
As
it.
you can tell, I'm not the biggest Star Wars person. I watched the movies. Like this was the first year where I actually started watching Star Wars content again because I haven't watched Mandalorian. I haven't watched, Boba Fett. Anything. I like Obi-Wan because Ian McGregor can get it. So I watched it now. It's like I'm hoping. I mean, now I'm hoping that I can kind of keep up with the rest and so on. But yeah, I know there was Ahsoka coming, but I was like, there's like I'm very confused, like because they're pulling characters from the anime show, but also they're continuing her story from Clone Wars. I wasn't sure, like, is this kind of like their secret Clone Wars season 8 or something, whatever. But
I mean, you're not technically wrong because essentially, like, Rebels with the time jump ends after the events of Return of the Jedi, and obviously we see her in The Mandalorian season 2 a few years after that. So the implication is that Sabine is off somewhere because we don't see her there. Then she pops up in Book of Boba Fett as a surprise, and she's talking to freaking Luke Skywalker. Oh, a moment. Then
that was so awesome.
and then there's no talk, but the implication with her appearance in Mandalorian season 2 is like, where is Grand Admiral Thrawn? Sabine's off somewhere. So now they're going to reconverge back to working together now in the Ahsoka show, essentially looking for Thrawn because that's a whole tie-in with Rebels. Because Thrawn took Ezra.
And Filoni's been very coy about whether or not the scene where Ahsoka arrives to pick up Sabine to go look for Ezra is set alongside all the other epilogue scenes, or if it's post Mandalorian after she has information.
Actually, you're not. I don't think you're off the mark there because literally, it's the same. It's pretty much the same exact shot from the end of Rebels, in that at the end of that trailer, like where she's looking at that mural. So you're probably not. That probably is shown in live action.
Bro,
to a
y'all
step.
are, oh my god, just talking about this is just getting me extremely hyped. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, it's not, it doesn't take a lot to get me all stoked. Like,
Dave
you guys
Filoni,
bringing it
which
up, I'm
one
like,
is he
all
again?
right, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. He's the guy that wears a cowboy hat, yeah.
Okay, but
He
what
was-
does he do? Like, what is his role? Like did he's the one who created Clone Wars, right?
He co-created Clone Wars with George Lucas. He worked for George Lucas for 10 years and learned everything
Dude's the
under him.
prodigy of George Lucas. Yeah.
He went on to do Rebels, and then now he's done Mandalorian. He started directing live action with The Mandalorian and Mandalorian season 2, and then I think he did some work on Book of Boba Fett. I don't know,
Yeah.
but then of course Mandalorian season 3, Ahsoka, and then pretty much he has his hands in everything in some sort of way.
Like almost
he's
like
also
Kevin
the
Feige,
lead
almost.
creative executive.
Kind of like
now.
Kevin Feige, because he's working along with Jon Favreau, basically like trying to cover all the Star Wars content on Disney Plus. And I don't think they're going to carry over into the movies. I feel like that's a separate thing. They're going to keep separate in terms of their influence. But I feel like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau is going to be the.
I feel like having their input in the movies wouldn't be the worst thing.
Oh no, they need to. I'm just saying.
need to,
I
yeah.
would be surprised if they're not, because
I
so
think,
far
Filoni,
crushed on TV.
what was that promotion he got like 2 years ago that they kind of had hushed? He's like the lead creative executive now of the story.
What was it?
I can't
Chief-
remember the exact title.
Is it chief creative officer maybe?
Maybe.
No, but it's cool that he's getting to bring some of his animated characters to life. I know because I'm always even though I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, I'm always fascinated by how this company has managed
executive creative director.
There you go. I've always been very impressed by how they keep all the movies, TV shows, comics, video games, book novels, and then whatever else I'm missing. All it's all one universe. Which I feel like it's like. That's impressive that they can do that with all because I remember when one of my friends years ago told me oh, that the game with Cameron Monaghan, whatever it's called, that's in the Star Wars universe. I'm like, so theoretically Cameron could show up. He's like, yeah. I'm like, nah, we need to get Cameron Monaghan into the Star Wars movies.
He's been campaigning for it. We know we're in that sequel game. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he was one of the rumored characters to pop up in the season 2 finale Mandalorian, but obviously I think we had the best choice. But he was one of the
one droid show up.
Yeah. I mean, so there's the potential of him. I think he's going to pop up in live action. I feel like they're not going to not do that. But right now they're probably just finding a time and a spot for it to work. Because there's times where shows just throw in stuff for fan service, and this show does fan service, but I feel like they do it in a way to where it's not overwhelming and they're just doing it to do it. I mean, Cad Bane showing up in the Book of Boba Fett, they didn't have to do it, but timeline wise, it makes sense. But it was amazing. And then with Ahsoka popping up randomly out of nowhere, talking to Luke, I mean, that's something people have been asking for ever, and they did it. And the implication is Luke knew Ahsoka. That's awesome.
But it definitely felt like just straight up fan service in areas. I'm not
it was
gonna lie.
amazing.
It was amazing. Oh no, don't get me wrong. But I mean, I feel like the people that did complain, obviously, Star Wars fans usually do find a reason to complain. So
what? What are you talking about? I thought everyone was happy with Star Wars constantly.
All the time.
I love Twitter.
It would be weird if she wasn't there.
I mean, that one line to her where she's like, "You remind me of your father."
But they're not. Are they going to show us having them, them meet? Because that's something I really need to see.
Well,
I want to.
That's another Dave Filoni's playing coy because
I saw
know
that.
How
Yeah,
it happens. You all
I
don't.
bet we'll see it. We'll see it in her show.
I think he said something like, "Oh, I know when, I just don't know where," or he said something on the lines of that, and it just gave me a headache.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's a flashback in the Ahsoka show where it like the meeting kind of ties in, because maybe Luke Skywalker is addressed or something, and she's talking about meeting him or something. Like maybe Hera asked about,
or they do some crazy stuff where like she can't get into contact with Ezra, so she needs Luke to kind of to reach further into the Force to actually grab him.
It's way too close. It's way too close to having Luke right there with her going after Thrawn to not have Shadow of the Empire.
I mean, at that point, yeah.
I mean, like, damn it, no! I need Luke in this. Anyway,
that's the thing. Like, it's like because when they went from Mandalorian season 2 finale to the Book of Boba Fett appearance, the difference in the quality of his face is so drastic. It's insane because literally they hired a guy from YouTube who improved it and did deep fake, and it's so much better than the CG face. I mean, it looks like Mark Hamill. It's crazy.
It's like the thing is when we saw that Mandalorian season 2 reveal, obviously it's not the perfect, like it doesn't look perfect, but I mean I think we were just all blinded by the idea that this is Luke Skywalker. Like we're getting Skywalker, you know. So I didn't really care for the the CG face, whatever you want to call it, until later on, until I kind of started noticing it. But I mean, the fact that they are trying to improve and then just slap that sucker back on for the Book of Boba Fett, it does put a smile on my face that they're actually trying in areas, because they could simply just throw them in there and not give a crap, but they're trying, and I like that.
I don't know how Thrawn would fight Ahsoka. I feel like he would. I don't know. I mean,
I'm sure they'll find a way.
I mean, he'll just pull out a lightsaber out of nowhere.
Lightning swords. No,
like, I got the high ground.
No, yeah.
He is a master tactician.
Yeah. Oh man.
Man.
Well, let's see what else people are asking.
I wanted it to be Plo Koon. I don't care for Luke Skywalker. Oh, you wanted it to be Plo Koon?
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing. They were telling everybody it's Plo Koon on set. Plo Koon's coming to set. Like, no.
Bro, we saw that dude blow up.
Yeah,
but then again, we saw Emperor
chicken.
Palpatine get thrown. You're not going to want to talk about that.
That's a good question. I don't know if it says Egg on the Conqueror, because they made a point to say they're not going that route with a spinoff. But we have that Jon Snow show they're developing after Game of Thrones.
Man, yes.
I've always said they need to do an Arya Stark show where she's traveling beyond the map just to see what's out there. I would love that show.
For sure.
Other than that, I don't know. I mean, they tried to do The Long Night. They filmed a $30 million pilot, and then they shelved it. So I don't know what else you could really do.
They also wasn't there actually a Valeria based spinoff too that they canned?
I wouldn't be so. I mean, I don't know if they can. I know, like, the thing is,
I don't think it got shot. I think they were.
Yeah, George has said there are several other shows in development. He's talked about some of them. Others he can't mention. So there's probably several in development we don't know about. But
I know there's like that Dunkin' egg is coming.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen. But okay. But I mean, then again, House of the Dragon
it's animated. If I remember what I've heard,
I think House of the Dragon is like proved that it's possible, because House of the Dragon could have failed. Because there was the fake narrative. No one cares about House of the Dragon. Okay, well, the show hasn't aired yet, so how do you know that? 10 million viewers. Then it was 20 million by the time numbers came out. Then 10.2 live viewers. So it went up a bit. And they put out the first episode for free on HBO Max's YouTube channel. Like, they put out the first episode.
Really? I didn't know.
Did they really? They put up the first episode today. I think it was today. It's on YouTube right now. Now I think it's US. I think it's on US only. But still, they put it up for people because they want as many people to come back.
Wait, will YouTube allow that?
No, they uploaded it legally because it's their content.
No, but I mean, like there are certain scenes that aren't.
I get your point. Well, we know there are restricted content that they have to, but I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, age restricted video. Yeah, based on community guidelines.
Well, were you disagreeing with
this one? Well, I think they're having a conversation about something.
Oh, okay.
He wants more Game of Thrones prequels. We should go back, 50,000 years instead.
I think we need more sequels to make me not hate the ending as much.
There you go. If Blade's starting to film in October, that's awesome.
It's 2 days before my birthday. Hopefully, they can get Marvel. Give me a costume reveal on my birthday. It'll be great.
It comes out next year, right? So they have to start filming now.
Yeah,
they have to get that done.
Next November, they're coming out.
Because that's like, you can give me all the prequels you get, but like at the end of the day, the road still ends where it
the same way. Yeah, because you have
people don't rap. Like, I don't know. I've had people be like, "No, it's so far away. It doesn't matter." I was like, do you know what this is about? All of these things is what builds up to this. The literal, this whole stage is what allows for Daenerys and all that stuff to even exist. And then they even cemented my point when they ended the first episode with, "Here is the prophecy."
I mean, yeah, and the thing is too, not to get too much in spoilers for people, but Rhaenyra in episode 2 saying, "Well, when I become queen, I'll make changes." Like, well,
I shall forge the axe of Zaslav.
Oh yeah, she's gonna go. I'm gonna forge this axe for this man.
I have no idea what show or even episode you're all talking about. But all I can see, we're talking about, I shall do this. I shall forge the axe of Zaslav.
Now, Fernando,
steel.
I understand your point about the ending made it to where you never got into Game of Thrones. I still recommend watching the show, just understand once you see Daenerys cross the seas with the Dothraki and everything, and that amazing the Winds of Winter, the episode that was getting striked. Once you get to that point, just understand it's starting to.
Now it hurts me the fact that the ending is what turns people off from the show, because that show has just it's
That's why it hurts so much.
there's so many moments in that show where I don't see many other shows competing with. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's just so many moments that like have blown my mind, and it's
Just, like-
up there as one of my favorite television shows. I had my friend watch it. I told
It's
him
still
straight
in my
up,
top 10,
Yeah,
despite
yeah,
not
for
paying.
sure, definitely for me too. I had my friend watch it, but it was like right when I was, still getting the salt out of the wound for, the finale, and he ended up loving it, and he still somewhat enjoyed the finale. So it's just all
I
of
mean, I don't think like
the
what happens is necessarily bad or anything like that. It's just it was executed in the worst way possible.
Mm.
Like most of what I predicted or at least thought or wanted to happen kind of happened, except for like one thing, two things.
with the Jon Snow thing.
Anything with John, everything
Oh my
with
God.
John.
That's why the
except for the
spin-off,
final episode thing
hearing about the show with him
was the only thing I was
it-
like, he's gonna do it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be in the library with a kitchen tool.
Nah, yeah.
It's a figure of speed. They actually don't do that,
actually
right?
put
Here,
salt in
like I
wounds.
had to ask.
Wait, you guys don't actually put salt in your wounds?
Well,
That's
you
how
do
you clean
that-
them out. No, I'm
If
kidding.
you do that, I want you to stream it.
I use
You want me to
lemon
stream
juice.
it?
I want you
Oh
to stream that.
yeah, that's gonna imagine having like a bloody wound on camera. Like, that's probably go well.
Now, I don't know if this is going to happen, but I thought I misread it. Thinking that he wants Game of Thrones to tie into MCU. I don't know how that would work. I mean,
It's her-
you have Tony Stark, House Stark, so that would make sense.
Hey, yo, isn't Star Wars technically canon to the MCU now?
I don't think so.
Because
Is it?
we got that what if moment when they're jumping through the universes and we see Vader's castle in the
Hey,
background.
their art director was like, "That's not Mustafar" at the last.
Now, can't you see
thing.
the Vader's castle?
Could that be Doctor Doom's castle?
I don't know. I
Oh
don't
my
think that's true.
goodness.
I don't think he lives on a volcano.
Yeah, it was Mustafar for sure. It had to be.
I think we're all excited for Cobra Kai season 5.
Oh,
Nah, for sure. I want to get a live going for that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we will definitely be talking about that once, and I'll be watching the remainder.
You should join us,
Tonight.
Chainsaw.
What?
You gotta join us when we do that Cobra, when we do our Cobra Kai, our annual Cobra Kai
I'm
review.
watching the remainder tonight. That's why I'm wearing this. So.
Nah. that's what you're doing? I got it like 2 weeks ago and I haven't started it yet. I've been so busy on catching up on Lord of the Rings, so I just
See, I would reach out and ask for those, but me and my wife are going to watch the show together, and
Oh, okay.
if we watch it, it's going to be obvious because she's not allowed to. So I'm like,
Yeah,
mean,
well,
if
she's a part of the channel. I mean, if you're reacting to it,
I'm the person with the press, so I can't
That is
like
true. Yeah, it
like
is a little,
it's
a
tied
huge
under my name. And
technicality.
if you look at the actual thing, it says very clearly, this cannot be shared with anybody besides you. I'm like,
You will get the you will
Yeah.
get the act of Netflix.
I'll
and
get the
you
axe of
me-
Netflix. As
do not
Zaz
want
will
that.
hand over his axe to hurt me. Now, and thinking that's the thing. But I want to watch it with her because we love the show, and so I hate the fact that we have to wait, but at the same time, we get to enjoy the show
for
you
sure.
know? And I think it's awesome.
This is complete bullshit. This is
I-
not happening.
I've
That's
been
true.
seeing that
She,
pop up
I'm
a
pretty
lot
sure she has a
today.
whole nother HBO show coming out though. She's
Yeah,
like,
she's on
Yeah.
HBO.
yeah, but it's not House of the Dragon. Nah, I don't see that happening.
How did you get the leaked footage of the wedding?
House Maximoff.
How'd you get the leaked footage of us going, Gracie? We're doing our best cicada impression. What are you talking about? Oh, by the way, Busy, we talk a lot about cicada on here.
He's the
Why?
best.
Why would you do that to yourself?
I want to know too, Busy. Like I'm the co-host, and even I'm still like, why? Like, what is it with this channel that is so obsessed with race?
Gracie, we have to do this. They all deserve
Oh,
it. Don't
man.
believe in Grace. Oh yeah, when we're in the stream in a bit, Busy, you'll see the clip we have to play at the end of every show, and it is cicada.
I mean,
Oh,
do we
no.
have to? Do we have to play?
Yes.
the
Wait, you guys
clip?
do this for every stream?
Every
Yes.
stream, every time we do in this multiverse, we
I can
have to
assure
end-
you, if you don't do it, you'll get more viewers. No,
No. This what will happen is
That's true.
if we don't play those clips, this will be Jordan for the rest of the weekend.
Just screaming. Oh,
Wait, do we want to freak them out with
I
the
love
thing
it.
that you noticed, Jordan, with the little smile?
well, I know Omni's seen this. Busy, you need
No.
to pay attention when it's
Your life is about to change forever.
he looks into your soul.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those different memes just lying around.
I love that.
So yeah.
Yeah, I
He
don't
looks
think until
into
you
your
showed
soul.
that to me, I'd never noticed he looks directly into
I
the
didn't
camera.
notice it until I was making the clip. And I was
Wait,
like, holy
that's not like like
That's
a
another-
blooper? That's like the actual scene.
yeah,
Let me
like
show you
well,
again.
yeah, watch.
And his
That's
eyes
fucked up.
move.
No, I don't like that. I don't like
Yeah,
that.
so when I was compiling the clip, as I was cutting it off, I saw his eye shift. So I zoom in because it doesn't zoom in on the actual episode, and then
Yeah.
he looks at the camera. I'm like, oh my god, that is so, he broke the fourth wall technically with his
I'm
look.
wondering if that
By
was
accident.
that was like him a mess around take.
Oh,
for
and they
him,
kept it.
and
Well,
they
his
ended up
face,
going
his
with it.
face.
Well,
I
that
feel
was
like
probably
it
supposed to be
fit
in
the
there, but
scene,
he
right?
was
Oh yeah, because I've always said since I saw that for the first time, and me and my wife are losing it. He could never recreate that face again exactly as it is. It's too perfect.
Funny
For what?
enough, he did something similar. Like, so I was the one who did the interview, but one of my old hosts of the Flash podcast, when she interviewed Grant, I want to say the 2015 Paley Fest. So she asked him to do like a soundbite, but then once he heard it was a flashback, he realized, oh, it's Andy. So like once he started saying it, he glares right into the camera because he knows I'm gonna be watching. He was like, Grant, what are you like? This is so creepy. And then 8 years later, this is what he does again.
It was for you.
Why would she be in the House of Dragons? Because she's
Why not?
awesome.
I'll do one better. How would Elizabeth Olsen be in House of Drags? I love it.
How? I can't
I'll
wait
do
for
one
it.
better.
How?
Who would Elizabeth Olsen be in House of Dragon?
Yes, I noticed he has chainsaw arms. I noticed that. Yes, in the show, I noticed. Oh, if Walking Dead, I mean, they are going to get multiple shows. Yeah, it's going to happen. Especially House of the Dragon, and them announcing season 2 after the first episode.
They had like 3 planned, but then they just scrapped a few of them.
I feel like now they're gonna do it because they're probably
seeing the love behind this. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I also don't want them just dipping in quality just to get more of these shows out there. You know?
There'll be a show called Game of Thrones, House of Zaslav.
House of Zaslav. He's sitting there.
Sounds very medieval. So it's like
he's sitting there on the throne with the axe, just like holding it, just like you want to come up here. I'll end you.
What? I need to find this interview where he sat there and just glared to the game. Like, I'm like, Jordan, where did you get that? He's like, I just googled it. I'm like, what interviewer would allow this to run?
I found the interview, like an image from the interview, and then all of a sudden, on similar images, he's pointing at me. I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
He's like, this is the one. This is the one.
This is the yeah. Oh yeah, that's him just chilling with his axe next to him.
Oh my god.
One of the new spinoffs coming out is just going to be a redo of 7 and 8.
That'd be fantastic. Oh, people are congratulating your breakfast.
Nice. I mean, thank you.
Justice won out in the end, though, for that. Though not as much.
Wait, what happened?
With what happened with D&D after everything.
They rushed it, and then they lost, and then their Star Wars deal fell through, and they ran to Netflix, and Netflix hasn't really done nothing with them.
It's been 3 years, and they haven't had their names on anything.
They have their names on a comedy special. Leslie Jones comedy special.
I'm upset with what happened, but hopefully they get a chance to redeem themselves.
I'm going to say this quickly. Here's Journey. Calm the F down. We're trying to have a good time. So just, let people have opinions. Yes. But I can't stop. Like again, like Omni and Busy. You may need to turn off your camera because I'm like my ADHD is just glaring at all your background. So like I'm like now noticing. Like look right behind Busy. He has one of the classic Black Canary covers, which I love.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Pickle Rick, Walking Dead, and then we have I Want to Believe, X-Files. Oh, the color change.
I could just start like
Fancy.
Really start messing with you.
Yeah, see, I'm not that fancy. I have this little like cheap ass thing that I can just like red. Like it's not as good, but
Yeah,
Where's
I'm just
the light coming from? Is it above you or from the
I have
side?
like a cheap ass light bulb that I bought on Amazon. It changes
Nice.
colors.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm just in my living room, and people like
I'm in my living room too.
Nah, see, I'm gonna be filming in like a living room soon. I'm building a cabin in New Hampshire, so I'm just
Nice.
gonna be I'm excited for that. So I'll be able to just film, in a casual space because it will be my home.
I
I love that even though it wasn't planned, like busy and Omni having like the same kind of color scheme going on, and me and Jordan like just having like our like yellow lights.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I've been in the
It's like
living room.
blue, beige.
I literally been in the living room for all this time. I love people commenting, "Get out of your mom's basement." My front door of my house is right here, off camera. Like this, that is the only heater in the house. There's no central heating in this
That
old
doesn't look
19.
like a basement, by the way. That looks like a
I'm recording in a closet, so I can't
There
wait
you
to get my
go.
home finally finished. It's almost done.
Well-
So once I finish building it, I'll be all set.
We're
Wait,
gonna
is this a
move.
closet?
I'm filming in a closet. Yeah,
Yeah, he showed
That's
behind the scenes. I've seen behind the scenes of him like show like
Yeah.
this is what it looks like.
like I can touch the walls.
a-
Like I'm touching the walls
That's
right
a
now.
big ass closet.
I would have just said I'm in a sound booth.
Oh
There you
yeah,
go.
that probably sounds a lot better. Yeah, this is my studio.
Yeah, your mic instead of anything. Me and my wife are gonna get a house hopefully next year, and the goal is to get a room just for me. It's just gonna be my room with
That'd
my
be
stuff.
amazing, bro.
So I'm out of the way because literally she's in the bedroom right there, and she's probably waiting for me to get done with the show, and she has to just stay in there unless she wants to be out here, and she has to be quiet, and like it's not convenient. It's crap. So
Last time I was on here, my setup was still just in the corner of the living room that I just opted completely for my stuff. Then our roommate finally got his butt out of the house, and now I've got my office.
there you go.
That's awesome, man. Nah, it's like when I first started, like the video that got claimed for an example. That was when I was filming up there, like upstairs. I would wait till everyone would go to sleep because I have a crap ton of people in this household. So as soon as everyone went to bed, I would just set up my stuff, record, and it was I had the whole area to myself. So it was awesome. But now that I got this, I'm able to just record whenever. So it's awesome.
Walter Hamada, because
all
he's
of
out
the
of a job.
villains.
Prometheus. He's in the show. I mean,
Yeah,
listen.
that would be a
I mean,
that would
look.
be a fourth wall break.
Here's what's going to happen. He's going to
that we
he's going
need.
to he's going to talk to She-Hulk in the finale, and this is what he's going to do. The
Oh,
same thing
no.
he did to Oliver. The same thing. Andy, you know what's coming. This can be Prometheus.
I'm 10 steps ahead of you, and you haven't even figured out what game we're playing yet.
He's
It's-
so
That's
good.
fucking funny, bro.
oh,
Nah, he's been awesome so far.
and she's going to go, huh?
See, Arrow is one of those shows. I don't know. It's my favorite Arrowverse show because I don't have any problems really with any of the seasons except it's like the flash forwards are really the only thing that I really question. That's really it. And season 8 had some bumpy roads, but other than that, I mean, I feel like it was more. It's been more solid. Like
The
Supergirl, I
only
feel like has
bumpy
had
roads
more
we
bad
had-
seasons.
Season 8 had was episode 9.
Yeah. I wouldn't even. Yeah, I mean, I don't have really anything bad to say. I mean, about Arrow. I always love to rewatch it, but then it's like I can't help but to watch the other shows, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta watch Supergirl. I gotta watch
Yeah,
this.
'cause
I
it
gotta watch
just
that.
like
You know.
takes
We
you
need
down
to
the rabbit hole.
rewind.
Yeah.
What?
We're rewinding.
You have
What?
nothing bad to say about Arrow?
Not much.
Busy?
No, not much.
Were you awake watching season 4 or like?
No, you know what? I think that compared to some of the other seasons of the Arrowverse, I feel
I
like
don't think
people
it's
like
that bad.
like I don't think it's as bad as compared like season 7 of The Flash. I've always stuck with this show, but season 7 was just a different type of terrible, and I don't like saying that. I'm always positive in my reviews, but I feel like
Blame
I
COVID.
had
Season
nothing
7
to
was
say.
very
I couldn't do it.
sadly, but like
I-
season 4 Arrow has no excuse. They were just like, we want Felicity, so we're gonna kill off Laurel, and then
That was
stupid,
stupid, but I don't.
It's okay.
I
She
don't
was
think
a
it was
nothing
awful.
character already.
I mean, Laurel. I feel like I don't know. I don't think it was that bad.
The stream's falling apart. It's falling apart. Everything's
We're
falling.
we're gonna long talk after this.
Now
Trevor.
I had my friend
Hey.
ended up watching Arrow like a couple months ago or like a year ago, whenever it was. And yeah, I mean, it was really just funny seeing him experience, because I watched it, while it was airing. So
Mhm.
seeing him just burn through it, I was able to talk to him about everything. His feelings on Laurel. He did not like Laurel until really season 4. The hatred he had for Mora, it was just so interesting
What
to
is
hear
wait,
it.
wait, what is everyone's problem with Mora? Like there were so many people who hated Mora. I'm like, she's one of the most tragic characters on that show. No, actually,
she
went
did try to
Quentin
kill her-
Land.
but, she did almost murder her son.
No. Hero's Journey. You heard me wrong. Hero's Journey. I didn't say I like Supergirl. I didn't say that. I don't know when I said that. I said that I'd have to watch Supergirl. I want to clarify that. I want to put that out there before you try to start roasting me when you don't got the facts straight. It's the idea that, I don't like watching Arrow over and over again because I feel as though I have to watch Supergirl.
Dude, you couldn't.
That's
pay...
what I said.
Okay, you could pay me, but
You could pay me, yeah.
I'm not willingly going to turn Supergirl on again, probably ever.
I didn't finish season 6.
I haven't finished it. I saw you.
It was
reacting
better.
to it. I saw you, bro. I saw the finale, and I just couldn't. When the alien tried to swipe at Alex, and she says, "Don't hit me without consent,"
Okay,
or something.
like
that was the only glimpse I got of season 6.
it's like after season 5, like literally they couldn't do anything that could be worse. Season 5, for me, is the worst television I've seen. Like it was a waste of time, the entire season. And they had Mitch Pileggi in it, and it wasted him.
Man, I tried. I had trouble getting through.
No,
it.
I didn't like Supergirl either
okay.
by the end of it.
I like the characters. I like the actors, but the show
No, yeah, for sure.
was trash from beginning to end, pretty much.
No, I stuck with it too. I stuck with all these Arrowverse shows, but
I watched them out of commitment to the universe.
Yeah, see, exactly. And then it's like I really tried, but it got to the point where I literally had really nothing to say during the reactions. The editing was just getting really bad because I was just straight faced half the episode, and if I showed 2 minutes of me actually interacting, it wasn't worth uploading. It was just I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
I remember there was one episode of I think it was Flash that that my wife rushed home to watch off camera, but still was reacting, so you could still hear her. And she's like, "I rushed home for this." I'm like, "I'm sorry, honey." Like I felt so bad because she was so angry. She's like, "Really? I rushed home for that?" I'm like,
Which one was it?
It was something. It was a couple years ago. I think it was Flash season 6. It was some sort of. I think it was season 6 of Flash something. It was just so funny how mad she got. But yeah, it's gotten to the point where I just watch the shows on my own now. I mean, like, I didn't continue. Like, I stopped watching Batwoman after episode 2 of season 4. I watched some afterwards, but I've heard season 3 is the best. But Supergirl, I've seen I watched the first episode. I reacted to the first episode.
Like,
yeah, and then I watched
1 and 2 are the only 2 good seasons to watch of that show, and like season 3, and I know you love Rain a lot, but like not even I could put up with season 3.
I love Rain. I miss Rain.
3 and 4, I liked more than 1 and 2. I think.
Really? The Goldface episode. Oh boy!
But again, some of these awful
rage
scenes
quit too. Like,
but again, some of these seasons or whatever compared to Arrow season 4, again, it makes me look at Arrow season 4 in a new light. It wasn't that bad compared to some of the the newer seasons that we've gotten, and that's the way I look at it, because it's like y'all gonna.
I've seen the bottom of the barrel, and it's not Arrow season 4.
Yes, that's a perfect way to put it, man.
It's Legends. Kidding. I don't know. It could be. I mean, the show that couldn't wrap up the storylines and got canceled on the cliffhanger. Good job.
I thought all I did this week was just fight about Legends on Twitter.
Like, oh yeah, you were like blasting people on Twitter about Legends.
No, listen. Let me clarify something. I wasn't blasting people. What I was doing was I was calling it. Okay, so just for people who do not know what happened, there have been people since Legends got canceled, and since Eric Wallace was asked by TV9 about could you see season 9, but before we knew season 9 was going to be the final season, could you see season 9 maybe doing something with the Legends to kind of wrap up their arc and so on, as if somehow it's Flash's responsibility to fix what Legends did wrong by having a cliffhanger. He openly said, I would love to, but I don't want to make any promises. But like, because like that would have to mean that he would have to get at least 8 series regulars. Because this is the thing, people think like it's enough to just bring one character. No, because of that stupid cliffhanger, all of those motherfuckers got arrested. So you have to bring in 8 of them, and you have to bring in Donald Faison as Boost to Gold, who would have been also in the series regular in season 8 of Legends.
That's so stupid, man. I can't believe they canceled it. I wasn't even watching it live, but as soon as I heard that it was canceled, I was so upset. I was salty.
So what happened then this week was that there were people, K-Lot had gone to some event, and she and her co-star Jess McCallum, who plays Ava, they were someone was, I don't know what the question was because they never showed that part of the clip, but she was responding to people like something about Legends on being on fly, and she kind of goes in a very cocky way, like, well, they can't afford us, and I'm like, so
she's probably kidding, right?
I hope she was kidding, because I tweeted from the Flash podcast that I guess she's kidding. She was kidding, because Christ, if she was not. Well, I guess she's kidding. She's right. They can't afford to waste their season 9 budget, their final budget, on characters that have nothing to do with the show. And then there were people going back and forth being like insisting that, but Flash 9, they should wrap up Legend. They should do something. They should sacrifice 2 free episodes.
I was salty because I went to Fan Expo Boston because I'm in Massachusetts. And she was supposed to be there, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm about to get a photo op," and they canceled it like the last minute. I was so salty. Her and Ava were supposed to be there. I was like, "Yo, this is gonna be fine," because I'm like new to this is like my fourth con in the last year, so I mean, I was like, "Oh shit, this will be fun." So I was a little disappointed, but yeah.
I was basically going back and forth with people about it's not right to demand that Flash should somehow sacrifice its final season for a show that had a ending that they need to have. They could have out of all the seasons to do a cliffhanger, because every season of Legends they wrap it up not in a clean way, but they wrap it up. But then they were like, what we should do? Our show's on the bubble, and we're about to have our whole network shaken up by.
Well, they almost always have a cliffhanger, don't they? Don't they have a cliffhanger?
But not in this way, because in this way they all get arrested at the end.
Didn't Sarah get kidnapped a season ago?
Yeah,
right. But it's like okay.
Didn't they get stuck in a whole different timeline in one, or I don't even know. And where wasn't there dinosaurs? Like they went back to present day and there was dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, all the timelines had all collapsed.
They almost always have a big ass cliffhanger.
When they got the announcement, they were renewed before they finished. That's the difference.
Yeah,
they were still
but
in the process.
this year
before they finished.
Yeah. Every January.
That's stupid. Yeah.
Every January they would renew months before they finished.
And the showrunner even admitted on Twitter, this is my fault. I was trying to play chicken with the network, and that's why I did it. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
He was trying.
I'm like,
one thing too that I think some people aren't taking into consideration is when Eric Wallace put forth that idea was before they got the confirmation that season 9 was the last, because he was like, we could do another Armageddon, and maybe we can do that and help them out if we have time or whatever, but they definitely are not going to now. But I will say that I do think that we're maybe not wrapping that up, but I do expect Flash, if it's going to go out to have some kind of
reunion with everyone.
I don't say even reunion, but something that celebrates the legacy of that universe.
No, for sure they have to, man. I want to. Can you pull up that comment that McFern put?
This one?
Yeah.
God. No. The thing is, Flash has 13 episodes confirmed. They may get a bump up some more, but there's no guarantee. They have 13 confirmed. Spending 2 or 3 episodes to save Legends storyline is a waste of time. They don't have enough time really to tell, a long story. They have to get right to it. So if they're doing Cobalt Blue, they don't need to be jumping to save Legends and wrap them up. Because like you were saying, you got to get 8 people plus Donald Faison, who's probably on another show at this point. I think he's on another show. These people are probably not even available. And they're going to.
Actors have probably already looked or started.
And you got to spend a good amount of your budget to get them back. Because their contract.
And that's not fair to the Flash. That's the thing.
Their contracts are done. You got to get them all signed on again.
And the thing is, you have to pay them as because being series regular on another show, you come on you would come on then as a special guest star, and that is significantly higher. I'm just like, Fuck no, the Legends had their chance. Like, and also, isn't it just one of the same show that would always kind of like be like, oh, we're too cool to be part of the other shows and so on. We don't have to do the crossers, whatever, and so on.
Well, I
So
mean, that was just more of a joke, I always enjoyed that. I
Well,
thought that was
who's
awesome.
laughing now?
That was the last
bitch?
time they were like, nobody invited us this year.
Now, yeah, they were salty when they weren't invited, and then I'm pretty sure they made an episode where they had to dress up as Supergirl and the Flash and Green Arrow.
Oh, it was the other way around.
Because they refused. They were like, "Oh yeah, they didn't answer our call." They're like, "Yeah, we should have went to the last crossover."
Yeah, we should have done the
That's
crossover.
funny.
But yeah, I mean, I like Legends Tomorrow, and I get there's a lot of people who love it, but I'm like, in the end, like, everyone here is at fault. The CW, Warner Brothers, but also the show itself. Like, we did it. You don't when you're in your 7th season, you should be aware that this could be it for you. No matter if there's someone buying your network or not. Season 7 is usually like you get kept off there. So this is not the year to start playing chicken with the network, because the thing is like, oh yeah, we're gonna put Boost to Gold in the finale. We're gonna end on a cliffhanger. So you have to renew us. Like, no, we don't.
I think the only one that played their cards right was Batwoman.
Yeah.
It was like, if we get picked back up, this is what we might do. But they didn't it was not at all like, oh, I have to know what happens next to this.
Exactly.
They didn't all the characters themselves, perfect spot. Like, nothing's disrupting their lives. It's just like, over there, something might be a little weird. That's it. It's fine. Yeah. I mean, hell, Daredevil season 3 ended like that. Allude to a greater adventure, but you don't have to, or that the adventure goes on, but it's not one you have to follow up on. Like, even like Dark Knight Rises, I think, is a good comparison. For, you can leave a nugget, but it doesn't have to be a nugget we have to follow. It just lets you know the world will live on without us.
Yeah, because these characters are still going on doing stuff. It's just we're not seeing it.
Yeah. Except for them. They're in prison.
Yeah, except for them. Any final thoughts? Because we definitely ran over time here. Wow, it's late.
Time flies when you're having fun, man.
Yes. Omni, what are your thoughts about real fast about this whole situation with the strikes and everything?
I don't want to lose my channel.
I hear you.
I've been like shaking most of the day since I saw Aka's video.
Yeah, I got tagged in it this morning by Canada Graphs, tagging a lot of people, and
I mean, it's kind of a fear we always kind of live with, but it's not. There's become, like, in the last couple years, like, a little bit of an understanding of what the reactor community does most of the time. Well, I'm not going to say, like, every single reactor provides accurate or relevant commentary whatsoever, but for the most part,
because there's trailer reactions where literally their whole video is 10 seconds of an intro reaction, 10-20 seconds of commentary, and they're done. Like, oh, so where's your thoughts on the trailer that you just watched? That is 90% of your video.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, TV reactions. Like Busy made a point. Like, he talks a lot in his footage when he uses for TV. There's definitely people out there that just kind of stare and they're not doing anything. Like, okay, so
what is
this? I'm supposed to be watching you watch this for the first time.
I don't think I often leave a clip on while I'm not talking.
Without any sort of response, whether it's visual, like your face, or you're actually making some sort of sound, like or like huh.
Even
like
my obnoxious laugh is in there somewhere. Like, I'm always doing something,
going crazy and shit and jumping around.
Sure, yeah.
You gotta have all that in there because you got to get the thumbnail right. You got to get that perfect shot. I mean, what was that one thing you posted where you jumped out of your chair? It was in your thumbnail. I think it was Cobra Kai. Like, you jumped out of your chair or something. Like, you put in the thumbnail, I got out of my chair, and you're like leaning over, like, oh shit. I'm like,
oh, I'm trying to remember. I've done that a couple times. I know I did that. I think it was Cad Bane.
Okay. Yeah, I think
it was Cad Bane.
I think it's something Cobra Kai. I think it might have been the fight in episode 10 of season 4, or it might have been episode 9 with Miguel. When I don't remember, something like you were like,
I'm curious now. Yeah, I really am.
I remember just seeing that that image randomly as I was scrolling through stuff. I'm like, all right, you gotta have a share.
I think my most animated thing ever, for me, was probably when Ezra popped up on Crisis.
Oh yeah, that was. Oh my god! If you go back and watch mine, you'll.
Well, mine's now private, so.
Oh,
Ah,
like,
yeah.
actually, I screamed, like I yelled, and my wife was sitting next to me who had a headache, and I cut all around it, but she was not happy. She was angry. She's
Hey,
like,
I have a recommendation real quick. Sorry to interrupt you, but I know there's some parts in some of those reactions you want to keep, and sadly you might have to delete them. If you're interested, try cutting up some of the best part of those reactions and throwing them up on TikTok. That way, over there they stick around, and TikTok is a lot more easy when it comes to that shit. You know, you're not forcing it. You're not posting an entire episode. So try to keep the key moments of those reactions and put them over there, maybe.
yeah. I mean, I'm not
Probably
too worried.
download the ones
I mean,
wanna
I'm.
make sure I have.
Yeah, I mean, I am worried that something might happen at some point, but at the same time, I don't want to jump the gun and delete stuff. I know people are privating, but I think this is a situation that will get resolved. I don't think this is going to permanently take. I mean, look, it's possible. Like the end may be near. We might start holding the signs. The end is near. I hope that it's just a thing where Vobile, with a terrible name, Vobile, so it's like a bile of shit.
They don't even have their own company email that has a Gmail. I was like, what a
Yeah,
fucking joke.
I think this is a situation where it may even be putting false strikes. Might be false strikes because it's so random.
What happens if they do that? Do they get punished for that? Like they get to walk away? I don't understand.
David Zaza will spank them with the ankles as well.
I mean, literally, they would, if they got enough responses through YouTube, YouTube would have to verify that their strikes are legit if there's enough pushback, because they can't have people on there putting up fake strikes, because that's a major no-no.
Nah, yeah, definitely.
I don't know.
I mean, as unfortunate as it is, they've hit some bigger channels, so hopefully
I'm wondering, have they hit Real Rejects? Have they hit Blind Wave? Because Blind Wave's been covering a lot of stuff over the years.
Akazan's the biggest name that I saw.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Blind Wave is.
We know they covered those episodes, so.
Oh yeah, definitely. They cover everything.
Yeah, so bad that I kind of want to go watch episode 8 at free of Arrow season 8 just to be like, what the hell could they have taken? Because there's no music in this.
See, that's the thing. I'm just if it's these specific episodes, like we just said, Blind Wave, we know ran through that entire part, both Game of Thrones and Arrow. And
they ran through Game of Thrones twice because they had them watching it and then they had somebody else watch it for the first time again.
So, I'm wondering if it's the content itself. Because I think Aka did mention that was before he got more strict about what he was leaving in.
Yeah, because Disney Plus has made it harder for us to edit. Because because I remember WandaVision, they were so strict with you editing. And I think it's because it was new. It's like Mandalorian. It was new. They're just kind of blocking anything. But yeah, he's not wrong. But back then people weren't uploading 15, 20 minutes of footage, but still, I think it might be a particular scene or something. Because if with Busy and August on both can hit
to censor, just pay,
because it's the same exact episode of Arrow. If Busy got hit with episode 1 of season 8, and then August-san got hit by episode 3, and then you Omni got hit by episode say 10, and I got hit by episode 4, then something's going on. But it's a particular episode, 2 different people at 2 different times. That's odd as hell. It doesn't make sense to me. So I don't know. I feel like someone's just pushing it too far.
Maybe they're planning on using a certain character, so they had to. I don't know. I'm trying to think of every scenario. I don't know.
Flash season 9, and they're trying to censor his previous appearance
in the Superverse.
I really think that he's going to pop up in the finale of Flash, though. I think.
I mean, he was just in the comic as the most horribly drawn character in the whole thing. Oh my god. When I got to that last page, I was like, what is that?
That's all of a queen.
What did you do to my beautiful man?
I love he's posting Arrow. He's posting Arrow TikToks. That's so funny. He's just being all over on TikTok. Oh, this is true.
That is dark.
Wow. Thanks so much.
Shall we wrap up?
Yes, so we want to thank Busy and Omni for being here to discuss this whole situation and kind of chill and hang out. We definitely did a longer show today, guys, but we thank you all for being here. And as you guys know, we have to end the show with this. Yeah, Obby's already seen this, so he knows what's coming. So we have to end with the greatest clip ever to exist ever on the Flash.
May the odds be in your favor, Busy. Have fun with it.
Good luck. Cicada, take it away, sir.
Metas killed your parents, Gracie. They all deserve to die.
Don't believe him, Grace.
Don't believe him, Grace.
And that showrunner
all
of
deserve
Black
to
went on to
die.
create Superman and Lois.
Oh yeah, he's the showrunner of Superman and Lois now. Yeah,
Because apparently in Hollywood you can fail upwards.
Love Busy. You know you love that clip about the metas.
Oh,
and
Busy, you do not love that clip.
Come
That's
on.
fucking awful, man.
That was the best clip ever.
Oh god.
Bye, everybody. Bye-bye. We're ending this shit. Bye-bye. Gracie, I won.
We have guests. I have to be polite.
No, Andy, you have to yell Gracie. You didn't do Gracie. You failed.
Not this time.
Where's Rachel?
Where's Rachel? Where's Rachel? Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.